Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Welcome into another Tuesday night evening blend, number 54. 54 Loch Ness Monster. I am Pop Blender, and with me, as always, is Matthew Matson, giving the knee, baby. Giving the freaking knee. Now, what's funny, okay, and welcome in to you guys as everybody rolls in. We got some pretty good stuff for you tonight. Couple trailers I've got saved. Want to give a review on the thumbnail. I want your full review of Mobland. I'll give you kind of my half review. Okay, I think it's a good spot for me. And you finished it. I'm almost there. And then the Predator, Killer of Killers. Pretty interesting animated show, movie, I guess. Feature. That's pretty cool. So we got that. Got some Superman news, some MCU news. Got a good bit of stuff to bring to you. So it should be pretty fun, man. But Street Fighter characters, just off the top, there are days when I can name those suckers like M. Bison, right, or Blanca, Dawson, and then there are. Okay.
No, I'm teasing.
But and then there are days where, for whatever reason, I just cannot. I'm like drawing a blank. I do it with actors now too. Uh-oh. It's amazing, the actors of yore I had no problem with, probably, but newer ones I'm like, who is that guy again?
Well, they're not really actors. They're just.
Yeah. We both agree on that quite a bit. But yeah, so it's funny because you're holding up Blanca, right? Is the first character, but then you got somebody giving the knee business to somebody else, and I'm like, who is that again? Who was that? So refresh my memory as I blow you up on full screen.
So Sagat is DJ.
Not the G.I. Joe DJ from Battle Force 2000.
I don't know. It could be.
It could be. I mean, that's true. I mean, Street Fighter characters were brought into G.I. Joe. Yep. That is canon, folks.
Yep.
Even I know that. And that was well after my time. I think I graduated high school by the time they did that. But anyway, so yes, we are here to bring you some Hollywood news. I've got some people I'm running through and starring really quickly, Matthew, but I want to get the niceties out of the way. How you doing, man? You doing okay today?
Doing all right. It's been a bit of a time lately. My dog had surgery this morning. She's okay. It's just minor stuff.
Okay,
but my other one's got some liver things going on, so the dogs are freaking out and got to take care of house stuff. So things are, it's summertime.
I mean... I say it all the time, like you're one of the busiest people I know, whether it has to do with work or family or, and then, how you fit in, taking pictures.
This is the meeting of week of meeting, the week of meetings. I'm in so many meetings this week. It's just not even funny. And it's wasting my time.
And no, exactly. Most meetings are a waste of time.
Yeah.
Obviously you have extremely important ones, but same thing for me. Whenever we have a meeting at work, it's not often, but whenever we have one at work, it's such a big waste of time. Most of the information can be divulged and told to everybody in like 5 minutes. Well, literally in a conversation.
And this one I have later on the week, our region person is going to be on there, and she's going to be talking about how we need to change and do things differently, and blah blah blah, and how we need to do that blah blah. It's like, okay, your brand needs to do it differently because we've been doing it right the whole time, and you have to do it the way we've been doing it because we're successful with it. So I don't need to be here because we've been doing it for 20 years. But
yeah, so and maybe in the chat too, you guys can tell me, because I find this so often, is that whoever you work for will come through and they'll make a couple little changes here or there. They'll have some not mandates, but they'll have kind of a list of things. And they're like, we're going to do this and we're going to do this and we need to do this and we need to file this. And then literally like a month later, shit goes back to the way it was, which was working just fine.
Yeah.
So like no problem at all.
my clinic in particular has come up with some ways to do things really efficiently. And we threw it up the chain, and they came down and said, no, 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 you can't do it that way. You have to do it this way. And we said, okay, sure, whatever. And then, 2 weeks to a month later, they're like, hey, we're going to do it this way now, guys. It's like,
Yep.
yeah, because it works.
That's it. It happens for me. I'm sure it happens for a lot of y'all out there too. I've no doubt about it. I have that conversation often, sometimes, and
But anyway, life is life. Things are good.
yeah, whatever. Yeah, yeah. Good.
Savage Crucible Wave 2 is coming real soon, and I can't
All
wait for that.
sheet. All sheet.
Yeah, that
I
one's
know.
gonna be
I know
awesome.
you can't. We have GI Joe pre-orders, fan stream tomorrow, pre-orders tomorrow afterwards. If they don't mess up the time on that, hopefully. I was ready to go, and then all of a sudden it's 11:01 my time, and then 11:04, and I'm like, hey, it's not up, man. I can't find it. I can't find it. And then I come to find out it was going to be like the next hour, but they had
Yep.
posted the wrong time. And I was at work, so I didn't have time to look and see that they actually said, "Hey guys, this is the wrong time." So
Yep.
curious to see what we go up tomorrow, as far as pre-orders from
Now,
Hasbro.
so my theory is that they've got three things that they have left to do, and they've got 3 weeks left. So, what's gonna? I mean, I think that this is the way they probably should do it. Maybe is you do the unboxing of the Rattler.
Okay,
You have to do that. They pretty much said that they're going to do that. So one of the Wednesdays is going to be an unboxing of the Rattler.
all right,
One of them, the main focus is going to be the reveal of the PulseCon exclusive, I hope.
okay.
And then the last one will be the reveal of the new HasLab and what that's going to entail. So they'll do their presentation that way. That's where I think the focus of the next three live streams should be. There's still several figures that they haven't revealed yet that are supposed to be revealed in 2025. I don't know if we're going to get them all because the production slowdowns have happened so much that
Right.
I don't think that most of them are going to come out. It's even some of the ones that they've already said that are coming like at the end of the year. I don't know that that's actually going to happen, but we'll see.
So, I haven't seen any leaks about
Yeah,
what's going to go up tomorrow.
I'm surprised about that.
I do not want an unboxing of the Rattler because, folks, tomorrow morning, while the fan stream's going on, I'm getting a crown. So I'm not, and I hope it's done by the time the pre-orders go up. So I might be relying on somebody to double up for me tomorrow. It is very possible. Maybe emergency call. I might have to, with my mouth, sitting there going, ah, and then go, so we'll see. Had a root canal Friday. That was a good time.
Yeah, well, my daughter had a dental procedure on Friday too. She chipped her
Damn.
tooth and had to go in and get that fixed.
Oh, that's a good time.
Yeah,
Yep, that's a good time.
she was not having a good day that day.
I believe it. Okay, so I don't even need to go through how I'm doing. I'm doing just fine, man. But I like to touch base with you anyway and see how things are moving along in your world. Yeah, so fan stream tomorrow. That'll be cool. I'll have to go back and watch the video, but I'll probably be listening to it in a earbud and while I'm getting my mouth jammed. That sounds terrible. Anyway, all right, look, let's find out who's here. And as we add some folks, I will try to make sure that I recognize you as you come into the chat. First in at 1:44 a.m. this morning was Johnny Reno. What? I created the stream yesterday, got it going, thumbnail and everything, and Johnny's like, you know what, I'm rolling right up in there. And then again,
You know why? You know why? Because I posted the actual link to this video at the end of Punk's stream on Monday.
yes, that's beautiful. And there he is again. He's the first two, man. He paid twice to get into this show. Dreadnought K6, what's up, buddy? 3-star draw. I'll be with him tomorrow night with some Joe Fest friends and talking about Joe Fest. And of course, obviously, what gets revealed tomorrow for pre-orders. So we'll do that show, Seven's Wild, on his channel tomorrow night at 9 Eastern. Ronnie Trickshot, what's up, man? Good day to you, my friend. Yes, Lawrence is streaming every day this week, including a Punk's Pit on Friday night for members only. And yeah, he's a busy boy. He used to give me so much crap about streaming like twice a week, literally, and three times. And now he is on all the time,
Well,
man.
I mean, he does. He has 3 shows during the week that he's committed to, and
Yeah,
then he's agreed to do all these other things. And I'm
right,
like,
right.
oh, dude, come on, man.
It can be a lot, as I found out sometimes a
Yeah,
week with three of them. And if I wanted to do a video game stream or something else, it's kind of like you either really dedicate it, right, and you just do it, or you're
yeah,
like, I kind of want to do this. And it's so there it's a I get it, man, but he's
yeah.
really busy. But yeah, Ronnie, and I had a good time, man, in Ronnie and Shark Guy's stream the other day. That was a good time, man. I had a blast hanging out.
Yeah, they're
Did
fun.
one for our time over here, man. Joe Fan 84, what is going on? Always here, man. Love it, love it, love it. Gonna bring up some Alien Earth Dreadnought just to let you know. Got the trailer fired up, and we'll that's gonna be out later this summer, but we'll talk about it for sure.
Yeah,
And then let's see, Triple D's Dungeon, maybe on tomorrow night. Maybe on tomorrow night, I think. We'll see. With me and Three Star Lunchbox
killer.
Killer. What's up? Good to see you. Very much so. Sabir went to the gym and
Nice.
probably gonna come in, grab a shower, maybe a quick bite to eat, or a creatine shake or something, maybe or protein to replenish what was lost during. I'm sure looking at Sabir's profile picture. It's not a full picture, but I'm guessing he's pretty jacked, man. If I had to guess, say, I know I wouldn't mess with him. I can tell you that. Let's see here. Viper Scout's in the house. What's up, Viper Scout? Good to see you. And Turk Murphy's Toy Solutions. What's up? All right, cool, man. People rolling in. Rolling in. Look at that. That's the move. That's the move right there. That is the move. And really quickly, Joe Fan 84. Hey, you do your thing, man. It's your son's birthday. You do that. This can be replay, man. You know what I mean? This can be whatever. You do that. That's a good time right there. And let's see. I think I got them all good. 3 star. Hope your doggo's doing good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's doing all right.
Good. Very, very good. Let's see real quick. Just scroll through a couple more. Yeah, definitely need to post that. Just to remind everybody at the end of the show. Um, Look at rolling. He's rolling. All right.
I mean, it's a
um,
pretty good ball that he can make there for an action
look,
figure. So
well, those figures actually have great articulation,
yeah, they
right?
do.
Like
Yep.
that, and they also have that on the chest where you can really move the arms in a lot, right?
The
The
butterfly
shoulders.
joints aren't as good
Yeah.
on Blanca as they are in like
Okay.
Sagat or some of DJ or Fei Long. But I mean, Sagat they sprung for the articulation on the neck, the torso, the legs, so that you can get the crouching poses, the ball pose, pretty
Yeah.
darn good. I mean, the only one that comes even close to better than this is you know, is like a $80 figure. So, $30, $80. I mean, it's your choice.
Well, and 3 star has a few, so I saw them up close and personal myself,
Oh
and
yeah,
so I definitely could
I dig
see
them.
what they can do.
Yeah.
And they are cool, man. If you love that line, or obviously you collect multiple lines, man. There's no reason not to get them if you really like the Street Fighter characters anyway. And
Oh,
Cammy, Cam,
Cammy's one of
Cammy's
the best.
yeah, she fire, all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's fire. Cammy's camo.
3 star. If everything's working out right, that Scooby Doo line is right around the corner.
Man,
The first two are
they have at my
or
local
three.
comic shop, they have it's like 6 or 7 2 packs of Scooby Doo characters. I didn't catch the brand. I don't know
Oh
who did
yeah,
them, but it was a
yeah.
bunch of 2 packs, and they're all $20 a piece. They're all right at $20 a piece, and they
Yeah.
look they look super cool.
The monsters for that are the ones that you really want to get because the monsters were the hardest to find later on. But some of them weren't too bad. But they did most of the monsters in that line. My daughter's got all of them. We got all of them for her.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's a pretty good line. The Mister Machine that comes with it's awesome. I love that one. But they're like the what? I guess they're like 5-inch figures,
something
and
like that. Yeah, yeah, something like
they.
that.
I mean, they've got fairly decent articulation. I used the Scooby and Shaggy in my first Headless Horseman picture. So I had Scooby and Shaggy running away from the Mythic Legion's Headless Horseman.
That works. Yeah, it's perfect.
But these Jada ones look amazing, so I can't wait to get them in
They
hand.
they do. I agree. They do. They're on a roll right now. That's for sure, man. Yeah, Dreadnought K6. Yeah, that's kind of the thinking, right? With the switching the production to Vietnam. I mean, we'll find out if Heavy Duty comes in and he's got a Vietnam stamp on him. We'll know when Dial Tone comes in, which I think when Tone comes in for me, it'll be like finding the kid who was posted on the side of a milk carton
Yeah.
26 years later and you
Yep.
find out they were kidnapped and they're alive. Yeah, that's dial
So
tone evidently.
so there, I don't know what the heck happened with all that. Whether it was in the midst of shifting factories and the next batch of them will be from Vietnam, or if they got lost in a shipwreck somewhere, or what. Nobody knows what happened to those dial tones because nobody at Hasbro is talking,
This shit
and
is wild.
everybody's too afraid to ask them. And I'm
It's
like,
so,
just ask him. Even if they can't talk about it, just say, hey, they gave me an answer. We're gonna get them. Right? At
yeah,
least tell us that much, right? Are they gone forever? Were those the
it's
only half dozen that were released in Canada? I mean, what's the deal?
it's really weird, man.
Yeah,
Like it really is. But my heavy duty left, he's on the way. So
yeah,
it's
mine too, mine
good
too.
old DHL. So he'll get here, I think, sometime around October.
Right?
And
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. War Chest is in the house. What's up, War Chest? Good to see you, obviously. And yeah, no, it's just it's so funny. And 3 star, yes, it is like JC Duggard, right? The, or who's there's a couple of them I could think of. I just can't remember their names, but it's like Downtown got kidnapped. He just got kidnapped.
Yep.
And a quick question for you: is that line good? Matthew Yojo Depot has a few of them. I thought about grabbing, but didn't know the quality. Are you
Is
talking about
that
that 2 pack
Scooby
Scooby
Doo?
Doo's that I was mentioning, or are you talking? Because the ones I saw were 2 packs.
Yeah.
I don't know the manufacturer, so I can't
One,
say.
two, three,
They do have
four,
monsters.
5, 6. I mean, it's like they've got simple hips, knees, shoulders, elbows, head. They're simple, articulated. They look good. The monsters are a little basic, but I mean, they're not super posable, but
Okay,
they're good figures. I mean, if
so
you're
it's
looking
it's
for
a
$20, they're fine.
that's what I'm saying. It's a 2 pack for $20. So they must
Yeah.
not be like that super
I mean,
posable. I wouldn't assume. And they look like 5 inch figures, something like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're I mean, they're equivalent to Jack Specific. Like their video game figures. They're $10 video game figures. Some of them are really excellent. Some of them are just okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if it's something that you want in your collection, man, go get them. But with Jada's coming out, I'm
Yeah, I'd hold off. I'd hold off and wait for those. I mean, there's no point. Those are going to be, those are going to be much better. That's for sure. Um, I mean, they just like I said, they're on a roll right now. They are, and yeah, I guess Lunchbox. I mean, you just got to kind of go take those extra steps, right? Just cancel that pre-order and go somewhere else, even if it's going to cost you maybe $2 or $3 extra, which seems to be the case. Everybody except for Hasbro seems to have raised their prices, I believe. Um, but yeah, no, I get it. I don't blame
yeah.
you one bit.
I've never been successful at ordering anything from EE.
Really?
Nothing.
Hmm.
I everything that I tried to pre-order from them, I found at GameStop, I found at Best Buy, I found at Target,
Okay.
before that it went through. So I'm like, what's the deal? I mean, they are quite literally like the last to get anything except for one fluke thing, like Alley Vipers or whatever it was.
Okay.
So I have not been successful at
Do you
anything with EE.
do you remember when the classifieds first came out? I would see like a Cobra Commander at Walgreens.
Yeah.
Like,
So, I mean,
it's
Walgreens and CVS so used to carry a lot of product. Walgreens used to carry a lot of product. Actually, they had an exclusive deal with Marvel Legends, and so they would get specific Marvel Legends. So, like the Fallen, the Obsidian Silver Surfer, right?
yeah,
That was an exclusive to theirs. You know, they're
yeah.
uh, the Jigsaw was an exclusive to theirs, right? So they've had
I remember
bunch
seeing
of
Jigsaw
those.
there. Yep.
The Moon Knights, the both Moon
Yep.
Knights, when they were first released, were Walgreens exclusives,
Yep.
and so they used to carry a lot of that stuff. And so yeah, you'd see GI Joes there, and I saw a bunch there, and I used to be able to track it on the app, so I could find them and pick them up. I got Red Ninjas or whatever from there.
Right. Back in the day, I remember as a kid, they had Star Wars figures. They'd carry
Yep,
GI Joe figures too.
yep.
Now it's like Marvel Legends, some basic Marvel
Hey,
Legends with a clearance tag on them, or they might have a
I saw a
Transformer
bunch of
thing.
Andor figures last time I was in one.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Black, like the Black
Uh
series,
huh.
like the. Oh wow, unbelievable! You got better Walgreens than I got.
Yeah,
Everything's bigger in
they
Texas.
had what's her name, the blonde girl.
Oh,
Um, yeah,
Vel,
I like the show. I don't.
Veltrex.
Yeah, I like the show. I can't remember half their names.
Veltrex. War chest full of toys. Good news, the bird is fixed. If I think I know what you're talking about, that means you'll be flying to Augusta, and that'd be pretty cool.
Nice.
Um, and so yeah. All right. So as we always do every week, we'll jump into the current box office. Just take a couple minutes, kind of scroll through this, um, and then kind of bring up a couple numbers with some of these movies that have come out. But we had a new weekend box office, obviously. So every Tuesday gives us a chance to kind of go back and review and look what came out. And Lilo and Stitch leading the way, no surprise.
No
I mean,
surprise.
really, no surprise at all. Even though some people aren't thrilled that they changed the ending a bit, but I think for a lot of the people that went to see it, that's a minor gripe for them. It hasn't become big news. It doesn't seem like. Um,
Yeah, look. There's Frank in the house, and I always think your last name sounds like a curse, right? Frank, doom on you.
I love it.
It's
I
awesome.
absolutely love it,
It's
Frank. What's
awesome.
up, man?
How's it going?
Um, Now, Ballerina, which is a
Wah
John Wick
wah
spinoff.
wah.
Yeah, uh, I don't know, man. I think this could have been if this was really made into one of those like sexy, thriller, um, spy kind of things. I don't know how you improve upon John Wick for one, and unless you add a different element into it like that,
Yeah.
then I don't
So
know what else you can really do with this.
the whole thing with this movie is why? Who asked for this? I mean, what does it
Nobody.
add to the John Wick universe?
Right.
Um, I mean, from everything I'm hearing, it's Midland, right?
Yeah. No, I haven't read much. And it $24 million, just over the weekend, not a great really. I mean, it's just not. It's not a great release.
Yeah,
Now, I
I
think
mean,
the budget was about 90 million, I think. 80,
yeah,
90 million.
yeah,
Something like
and
that.
yeah, I mean, this isn't a movie theater thing. This is a streaming service thing. This
Uh,
is,
yeah.
you know,
I also think the name of it doesn't do it any favors,
yeah, I agree. I mean, they
personally.
could have picked maybe a bit better name, or helped prep us a little
It's
bit better.
it,
I don't know.
it's it,
It was minimal prep.
it's a mouthful to say from the world of John Wick, ballerina. I mean that's a lot.
Mhm.
What's not a lot really is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning,
Yeah,
which is in third place at really domestic though at just under 150.
yeah,
Um, and I actually have the China numbers that I'll show here in just a minute. Um, for Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning, but yeah, Karate Kid Legends 35 mil. we'll see if it chugs to make any money. I don't know what the budget was on that movie, but um, it's kind of a weird framework of a movie the way that they made it. And I think they were just trying to take advantage of the success of
Yeah.
the show, and kind of struck out a little bit with that one. Final Destination Bloodlines, The Phoenician Scheme. Dreadnought, that almost was my reference. I almost
Yeah.
was going to reference Atomic Blonde.
Yep.
Bring Her Back. Is that a version of Liam Neeson and Taken? Is that another Taken movie? Is that Bring Her Back? Evil Eye, couldn't tell you. Sinners still holding on strong, man.
Yeah. Good for it.
186 domestic after 6 weekends. I mean, word of mouth. I still have people coming into work still talking about it. Oh, I went to see it the other day.
Yeah.
So there's still people going to check it out. I mean, still pulling in more than Snow White. Uh, and it's actually still pulling in more money than the Thunderbolts on a per theater basis
Yep.
in less theaters. Thunderbolts. Yep.
You mean
rounding
the
it
new
out.
Avengers?
Whatever. The new old of it. Is it the new adventures of old Christine?
Right.
That's kind
I
of
think they gave up on the new Avengers thing right away because it's like it didn't take, and it was like,
yeah.
this is the Thunderbolts. Nobody's going to accept these people as the Avengers.
Just not
Just
not
no.
doing it.
Just no.
And that's funny. I'm gonna star that real quick. The comment. So Tom Cruise Mission Impossible Final Reckoning leads again at the China box office. Now this is from June 8th, so a couple days ago. And Ballerina got third, but let's see. Final Reckoning, top spot for the weekend, earning 9.8 million between June 6th and 8th. Has grossed a total of 46.9 million in China. Even though it slowed down a bit, obviously, but that's pretty good. It's amazing how for many years the American box office, all the companies were worried about getting those Chinese dollars, and we've found that in the last few years, it's really slowed down a lot. Like
Yeah.
they're not interested in our movies.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you're not making $500 million on a movie that's over in China from China, if you're not making $500 million box office take, then you're not making anything, because $500 million is like
I mean,
125 million gets sent back to the studio, right?
well, right, because they take what is it like
75.
75%, right? Yeah, that's so. If it's not an animated, right? If it's not a Transformers,
Yep.
right, something like that, or Jurassic Park,
Yep.
they don't care. I
They
mean,
don't.
Star Wars had it for a time, definitely, but yeah,
But you had to
they
downplay all the main characters.
yeah, well, God. That is a tale that will never end,
It
right?
never gets old. I mean,
It
how do
just will never
you
end.
know, Disney thinking concentration camps and minimizing minorities on movie posters for China.
Right, right. I did see real quick here too. Ronnie Trickshot says I saw a movie in a theater in about 2018. That's not unusual though,
Yeah.
because I talked to a couple today that said that they've been together for, they said 15 years, and I think they've gone to the movies one time.
Wow.
Now that's unusual,
Yeah.
but it didn't strike me as unusual now, where if somebody
Yeah.
said, yeah, we've been together for 3 years and we've gone to see one movie, that wouldn't surprise
Right.
me at all. Dogma. Yeah, Dogma got released. What was it, the 30th anniversary of Dogma, or was it
It
25th?
one of the
20.
two. It
Yeah,
was
but
96. So
okay.
I think it was 96, but it was right around there. So it's about 30 years.
Yeah, so they re-released Dogma in theaters. And I will say
Well,
this.
do you know why they re-released it in theaters?
No,
Kevin
actually I don't.
Kevin Smith finally got the rights back. He's been fighting for the rights for Dogma for
Okay.
30 years.
Okay.
he didn't have control over anything
Wow.
after it was released. And so he didn't make any money off of it or anything. So this is his time to do what he wants with it again because it's back in his pocket in his catalog. He basically had to sell his soul to the devil to get that movie made.
Yeah, that was
Because
that
was
was a
his
big film
first.
for him. Yeah, big feature like that, right?
Yeah, that was his first like really
Main,
non-independent
yeah,
film that he made. Yeah,
right. I like that movie
I do too.
when I saw it. I think it's good. I know that a lot of people have issues with God being portrayed as a female with Alanis Morissette or whatever, but like
I thought it was great.
yeah, for me, I thought it was good. It's got a great cast, and at that time, Kevin Smith was kind of firing on all cylinders,
He
right?
was, and if you were in the age of the time, if you were college age or high school aged when Kevin Smith was coming into his own, it was
Mm.
zeitgeist for you, right? Every
Mallrats. I mean,
every
that's my
movie,
high school, right?
Chasing Amy. I mean,
Chasing
come on.
Amy. Yep.
So many things happened in his Jay and Silent Bob universe that he
Yeah.
created that was so integral to what took place in the 90s with independent film, with the outsiders becoming mainstream,
Right.
sort of, or being at least being recognized. And in the early 2000s, the
Well,
outsiders
I mean,
became mainstream. Tarantino,
Tarantino, right?
Rodriguez, and Kevin
Yeah,
Smith,
yeah.
all in the 90s, all independent filmmakers, all made a huge impact on the industry and changed. The three of those guys changed the industry forever because of what they did. But now the industry is so corporatized, they can't go back and find
Yeah,
people
no,
like that again.
it's too risk averse.
Yeah.
It's too risk averse now. I mean, you think about Lucas, Spielberg, De Palma, right? Scorsese, right? In the 70s, kind
Yeah.
of reviving Hollywood. In the 90s, yeah, these guys kind of, and created their own little genre, right,
So
of
so
film.
Hollywood's gotten too corporate. They've gotten away from the gangster thing because they put the Harvey Weinstein in jail for being a gangster. And
Right. Well, I would say we would probably all agree too that, unfortunately now, and as we go through this box office every week and as we talk about upcoming movies and all that, it's literally a world of nothing but remakes, reboots,
Mhm.
sequels. Um,
Requels.
yeah, threequels, intersequels, right? In betweequels. It's the chipmunk squeakquels. It's it's
Yes.
it's only a matter of time, and we talked about this. We mentioned it and joked about it.
Yep.
It's only a matter of time that one day there will be a remake of Back to the Future. It will happen. There will
Yeah.
be a remake of the original Star Wars trilogy. I have no doubt.
Well, so I mean, if you guys knew all the stuff that went on in Hollywood, just to hold on to IPs, you would know this happens all the time. I
Yeah.
mean, they will create budgets to bankrupt or to write them all off to get tax rebates just to hold on to an IP. That's how Fox held on to Fantastic Four, is because they got the rights for it and they had Roger Corman make a movie, and then they tried to burn the movie so nobody would ever see it, but they had it in production for long enough. They did a press tour with it before they pulled the plug on it. Um, but it's still the
So,
best Fantastic Four movie that's been
So
made.
so so one sad fact about that movie, and maybe many of you know this, maybe many of you don't. And I remember Three Star when you that convenience store. I remember that time period. Um, is that the people who actually acted in the movie,
Yeah,
they thought
they
that
thought it
was
was
going
real.
to be their big break. They
Yep,
thought it was real.
yep.
And little did they know until really, at some point they probably got an idea when the plug got, kind of pulled, but
Yeah,
they thought that was going to propel them.
right.
And in reality, they were being used for
Yep.
a purpose and had, really had
It
no
was
idea.
solely to hold on to an IP. They
Right.
burned those actors, even though the guy who played Doom killed it as Doom. You just
Yeah.
couldn't hear half his performance until later when they
Well,
had it redubbed because it was
right,
underneath
right,
the mask.
right. Too risk averse, says Dreadnought K6. Yeah. And yet, and you're right. All they have are failures lately,
Yeah,
and that is something that I was watching a stream, with the yesterday, I think it was, and
it's
that's kind
over
of something I
thirty
typed in the
billion
chat.
dollars in debt.
You would think
thirty
with
billion
yeah,
dollars.
you would think with all these movies that are not making money and that do fail, and people don't go to see them, and they don't have a long life in like as far as an IP with using the buying the rights to show it on FX or show it on
Right.
whatever, right? Like no one's really paying the money that they used to, and so these movies they don't get DVD rentals, they don't get
Right.
VHS rent, right? So that revenue stream is gone, and so with all these failures, you'd think that the companies would just try to revolutionize Hollywood, and yet they're still sticking to their guns,
Which is
sticking to
why
their
it's
guns.
decentralizing Hollywood, right?
Yeah,
Everybody's going somewhere else.
and that's true, and we talk about it, and I know you and I watch a lot of shows that really get into it, and one day, we can kind of dig into that to give everybody an idea what that really truly means. I
Yeah.
think on the surface you can do it, but really have some hard numbers about the kind of tax breaks and the kind of money that these films get back, and show you on the
Yeah.
screen like how much that means. Um,
Yeah.
so I wanted to bring this up. How to Train Your Dragon has early reviews coming in, and right now so far it seems to be probably going to do pretty well. They're staying true to the source material. They are, really the art. The dragons look the same. I think that was a big deal, right? Like if the dragons looked like they look in the animated version, that would draw people in. If they try to change them and make them more realistic or scary or whatever, it would have thrown people off. But supposedly this movie, beat for beat, scene to scene, is supposed to be pretty much a recreation of the original film.
Pretty close, it sounds like.
Um, I like the original. I think
Yeah.
it's a fun film.
Yeah.
The reviews, as I looked through some of these reviews, I noticed that some people are not they're not happy about sticking to the source material, and some people are, but the people not thrilled about it is that they wanted something a little different
Mm,
instead of being kind of just a remake of the same movie.
yeah.
That's kind of what I noticed. I think it's going to do pretty good. I
I
mean,
think so.
it's not going to be $1 billion film,
No,
but
no, but it will be successful and it will help the How to Train Your Dragon world at Universal Studios,
yeah,
Epic
sure,
Universe, right?
yeah, no,
As long as they get those drone dragons flying soon.
yeah. I did notice one story associated with How to Train Your Dragon, as far as some of the things that we cover, and I thought it was interesting. So there's a young lady. She plays Astrid.
Yep.
All right, and here she is, right here on screen, and evidently some fans are complaining she doesn't have blonde hair.
Yep.
Now, you and I, we've complained about race swaps sometimes, gender swaps, right? Sticking to source material. Hair hair is not one of the bigger ones on my list
Nope.
unless the hairstyle is truly part of the movie,
Yeah.
or like a really important part of the character in a way.
Yeah.
So this young actress, she kind of spoke out because, and again, she uses a couple phrases that I'm, whatever. She says, some people really love the animated movies and really want to see an exact play by play of the film. And I hope that you can watch and find something that you love about it with the new version. But for the people that just hate inclusivity, hate change, when it comes to that side of things, I just don't care. But she elaborates. It says, she said, if I wouldn't value your opinion on most things in life, I can't value your opinion on my hair. Talking about people that are upset she doesn't have blonde hair. And she says, if I did, I would go mad. And and then when I was younger, the amount of mixed race or black icons, people that I would look to on screen to be like, oh, this feels like me, felt really minimal in comparison to what it could be for
Wait,
young
wait, wait.
people now.
How old is she?
She's was she 20? She's 20.
She's 20. So
So
you
in
know
the
how many freaking films throughout the history, especially in the 80s and
she
90s,
right.
featured people of all races in
Right.
major prominent roles in movies? What the fuck is she talking about?
You took the words out of my mouth because at 20, all she's ever known has been like representation, right? Like,
I
so
mean,
I don't.
who came out of the 80s? Yeah, I mean, Eddie Murphy, Lawrence Fishburne, you've got so many actors that came out of the 80s from all these different races, Jackie Chan and all these other people, Jet Li. You could keep going on and on about people from other countries and other ethnicities that were on screen taking prominent roles, men and women.
I guess
And
the thing is, when I see a 20-year-old using these phrases, that tells me that you have been trained by your
to say that,
handlers
yeah, yeah.
because she goes on to say, there's still a long way to go for women in general in terms of new parts, original material, and female led stories. But
Okay,
I
have you
think
seen
that
Atomic Blonde, Aeon Flux? I mean, have you
we
seen,
don't even
Aliens
you don't
and
even have to go.
Terminator? I mean,
You don't
come
have
on.
to list them all. We know, like, and those are some of the go-tos, but there's so
Yeah,
many more that,
so
like, we
many more.
Hunger Games. I mean, you
Yeah.
can draw, really
I
make,
mean,
if you
and you could
sat
go back
down.
to, Juno when Elliot Page was
Oh
pregnant.
yeah. Juno. I went to the theater to see Juno. I thought
Yeah,
Juno was a
so did I.
great movie. I
Right?
laughed
Well,
my ass off at that movie.
Juno and Benny and June, I think, hit me at the right time.
So Benny and June, I remember. So then, and this is again, and it's like I go not to beat a dead horse, but then again, you have a 20-year-old actress who really truly has only known in any of their acting career the ability, like they've been put to the front of the line, right?
Yeah,
And she's a mixed actress. She is the
yeah.
daughter of Thandie Newton
Okay,
and filmmaker Al Parker. So
okay.
so but she's very light skinned, but like it's even for the role for we say I'll say it. She's white passing for this role of Astrid. She just is, but she just doesn't have blonde hair.
Yeah.
But she goes on to say that during a press event earlier this year, she noted that Astrid was a little underserved in the original movie, but it was
Excuse
because it
me.
wasn't about Astrid.
Well,
The movie wasn't about her. She's
but
in it. She plays a good part in it, but it's
she's got
not
a very
about
prominent
her.
role, and it's about Hiccup and his relationship with his father, and changing the way society feels about dragons. I mean, there's so many allegories that you're missing that's going right over your head because you have no empathy, no
I just,
understanding of nuance or subtlety. It's you got to punch him in the face every time.
and again, like, I have no doubt that she'll be very good in this role. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
whatever.
like to to go on this kind of deal, and it's not a rant per se. Like, she's being interviewed, right? It's a sit down. I'm sure she's just giving her answers, but it almost feels like that. Let's feed to you what if someone asks you this, or she truly does believe that because that's the way she has been
Yeah,
brought up to be, and so
yeah.
yeah, it's and it started out just over a comment about her hair color from the original, as you can see depicted in this picture here, and
Yeah.
and
I mean, that's
then
what.
and then up here in this picture, and I mean, look, am I wrong to say that she's white passing as much as
Yeah,
Pedro Pascal is white passing, if that makes
right.
sense, right? That you could play multiple roles, race roles, even, if you needed to. And
Yeah.
so and good looking girl, I don't know how good she can act. I haven't seen any or anything. I just hate to see this. I went over this Sunday night. I just It's old. It's tiresome,
Yeah.
right? It's tiresome. And I just wish we could get back to not talking about
Yeah.
that
Really?
stuff
Right.
and just, get into the character and their actions in the film and what they do. But anyway,
Gosh,
underserved.
I
Astrid was underserved. That's a classic terminology right
you know,
there.
I, you know, did you see what I can't think of his name? I'm trying to find it right now. Draco Malfoy.
Oh, yes, yes. He recently came out. Yep, you go ahead. I'll let
Yeah,
the actor that played
Jason.
Draco in
Yeah,
Harry Potter films.
yeah. So Tom Felton, or however you say that. Um, you think about what his response was to a couple questions that were thrown his way, and what Tom Cruise has been doing the past several years too. These are people who are grateful, who understand where they are, don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to express their opinion because their opinion shouldn't matter to anyone about any of these things. It's about promoting the movie, it's about promoting the product, it's about being excited about what you've been asked to do and how and what you can bring to the table, not about all this other nonsense because they asked him about all these other things that were non sequiturs to the reason he was there. He was there because he's reprising his role as Draco Malfoy for a stage play of a certain written play that's terribly written, but that's another story. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's excited to be there, and he's grateful for the Harry Potter universe and what it's done for him personally. So he will forever be grateful to the person who wrote that, and because she agrees with 99.9% of everything everybody else is believing. It's just that 0.01% that she disagrees with, and those people are trying to tear her apart. So anybody who promotes the TV series, who likes the TV series, is going to get attacked by these types of people who go after these things that are looking for clickbait nonsense. It has nothing to do with the story, it has nothing to do with the characters, it has nothing to do with anything. It's all a political thing that people are pushing.
Yeah, no, and he came out, Tom Felton, and just said, look, her J.K. Rowling's views on like, whether it's a trans situation or
It,
feminism or whatever it was, it doesn't really impact the character's return
right.
to the Harry Potter world,
Yeah.
right? And he was
And he is
grateful for being
grateful.
able to play that part,
He's
in
grateful for
this
the
movies.
world that she created because it's okay. You've got the Bible, you've got the Lord of the Rings, and you've probably the next best thing is Harry Potter for how many times those
For
books have been
a lot of
reprinted and
people, yeah.
translated across the
Yeah,
entire
sure.
world. How many people, how
Right.
many children got into reading books because of these Harry Potter books? How many people were
Absolutely.
super
Yes.
excited about reading again with their kids because of these Harry Potter books,
Yeah, no,
right?
100%.
I mean, you can't deny the effect that that has had on that generation, and it's the same kind of thing that we had with Lord of the Rings, with some other properties, but for the most part, you're not going to see as many people interested in reading books as they did for Lord of the Rings and for Harry Potter.
It's kind of scary now just to find as many people interested in reading books of anything.
Yeah,
Like anything, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, and Ronnie, yeah, like highlighting differences to promote inclusivity is good, but it also highlights the differences. I think the thing for me is like everyone can see the differences, right?
yeah,
Like you don't have to highlight them anymore. We
right.
we don't we don't need. I love what was the phrase that everybody liked to use is bring attention or bring bring awareness.
Mm,
I'm trying to bring awareness to. I think everyone's aware at this
yeah,
point. We're all aware of
yeah.
differences. We're all aware that there's multiple, right?
I
And
I
once we
enjoyed.
start doing that, it reminds me of segregation
Yep.
rather than
Inclusion.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not
inclusivity. Yeah,
desegregation. It's not really inclusion.
yeah,
It's falsified
it's
because
interesting.
if you think about it, especially in the 90s was probably the most inclusive time in all of film because you had everything portrayed on film. Everything was portrayed on film, not necessarily in a negative light either. You had a whole bunch of different scenarios where all of these other positions in life were put on screen and nobody said shit about it. They just told their story.
I
The
I
characters reacted to the situation that happened in front of them. It wasn't a look at me, I'm this. I mean, how many people loved La Cage aux Folles with Robin Williams,
right,
right? I mean,
right.
people loved that movie because it was, you know, it was a fun movie, right? Mrs. Doubtfire. You had all these things happening that you could apply allegories to, and all these other things to, and they were fun movies. They were engaging movies. They were potentially family movies. I mean, most of those things are family movies.
I think the '90s even really.
That's what I said. That's what I was talking about. Mostly the '90s. I think the
Yeah,
'90s was
okay.
the
I
was
thought
the
you
key
said at
point.
first. I thought you said the '70s. Yeah, no, you're
No,
right.
no, no,
Yes,
no, no.
yeah, because yeah, the '90s especially
The
that
'90s was
period,
the time.
100%, a lot of representation in the
Yeah,
'90s, and you started to see a really breadth of different cultures and films, and and yeah, like I think. If, I mean, I think a lot of us would even look back at that period and think to ourselves, you know, like race wasn't really at the forefront of a lot of our minds,
yeah,
for especially as we moved ahead and to Y2K and stuff, right? I mean,
right.
it's interesting. Graph, I want to say what's up
Was that bud?
to you, and I agree. A Sydney Sweeney pop up book definitely would take
But you
the
might
top
get some
spot
black eyes with that. I
on the
mean,
New York Times bestseller. I would take two black eyes for that. That's
well,
for
I'm
sure.
just saying, if it's a true pop up book, right? It's got to have a little explosive gas in there, so when you open
Yes.
it up, it goes poof, right in your face
Yes.
like an airbag.
I did want to bring attention to somebody who I used to really dig when I was playing music and, bought greatest hits. And, Sly Stone passed away
Mm,
yesterday. Sly Stone, who had a pretty rough life after fame.
yeah,
He man, like in Animal House, he looked pretty rough in that film. And early, in the '60s, early '70s, man, Sly and the Family Stone was the jam, dude. But yeah, Sly Stone, some funky stuff. For those of you in the know, passed away yesterday. 82 years old, pretty much disappeared out of the
yeah,
spotlight. Really did. And oh, it hit me when Prince died,
yeah,
and God, that's been 9 years ago.
yeah.
His birthday was June 7th, but uh, when all your musical heroes and the people you listened to or got influenced by start to pass away, it starts to hit you. You're like, uh-oh, like I'm on the downside of the mountain. I was going
Yeah.
this way, and now I'm kind of going this way. Oh no. um, so did you want to talk about Warner Brothers? Because I think this is an interesting story about Warner Brothers splitting
Yeah.
their TV department basically and their
Mm.
movie department
Yeah.
and
So
what that
Marvel
means.
Marvel had done this a while ago.
Few
So
years ago, like
yeah.
2019, 2018, somewhere in there,
So
2019.
Marvel had already done this, and honestly, it never really was together to begin with because Kevin Feige hated, uh, Drew Goddard and all those people, so he didn't wanted nothing to do with what they were doing on TV until he had to. So they were pretty much always separate, but they like officially divided them, and now Warner Brothers is doing the same thing. And what I think is interesting about this is that they appoint this guy to take charge of the TV thing and saying, "Hey, you're getting the $38 billion in debt too. Here you go. Thank you."
Yeah. Yeah, it's underperformed.
Yeah.
Basically they decided to take everything that had the debt and put that on the TV side, like you said, and everything that has the opportunity to make money.
Well,
You split that. Is
now,
that even legal? Like, can
oh,
you even really do that? Like, I don't know. It's
so
take
yeah,
everything that's losing money and stick it over here.
yeah,
Like
of course you
this
can.
isn't worth
It
shit.
of course you can because there are three main companies in Hollywood, right, that are running everything, and two of them are freaking bankrupt. They're freaking broke
Yeah.
because they've got so much debt, and the other one doesn't really care because they make their money elsewhere. Right? They're in so much debt that they can't get any solvency to move anything forward, so they have to play this shell game of moving things around to hide all that crap. and then try and get a way to write it off. Oh, this business wasn't profitable because the debt that it ensued over this, that, or the other. Warner Brothers is one of the most messed up companies that there's ever been because the Warner Brothers hated each other. So every division in Warner Brothers competes against the other division. So if
Right.
you have the film studio that's making a production, they have nothing to do with home video, right? So that home video market competed against it, and those dollars didn't count together of the home video sales and the movie sales. They didn't bring that budget together. They counted it separate. So however much it costs to make the DVDs, Blu-rays, whatever, and make that, and then you have the television department, right? So you had the brothers were controlling three different divisions that were always competing against each other for budget, even though they should have been synergistic.
Right. I just find it interesting because like we know that TBS, TNT, which just lost Inside the NBA, which was like their
Ugh.
biggest show.
Yeah.
Like literally their biggest show. These guys, with Shaq and Charles Barkley and Kenny. Holy shit!
Yeah,
It's so sad. Anyway, whatever. From the Rockets back in the day. Anyway, so here's the deal. That's the biggest thing they had, and the TV part of it hasn't been making money. It continues to lose money. Cable
Yeah.
TV isn't worth
It's
shit.
dead. It's dead.
So it's interesting to just kind of split that off, and then I wonder, hey, can we sell this off? Can we unload this on someone?
And I'm telling you guys, if you haven't been paying attention, Disney wants to sell Marvel. Warner Brothers wants to sell DC.
That's
They say
interesting.
this is such a loss leader. Diamond screwed everything up. The comic book industry screwed everything up. They made this unattainable thing. They would love to sell it off, but the IPs that are held within it are so valuable to them. They don't want to, but at the same time they feel like they have to. And once Superman becomes public domain, bye-bye DC.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's going to be an interesting time too. Now, there's always little things that they could hold on to, as in
Yes.
like the curl, maybe, right? Like
Well, so
certain phrases or
for
a
maybe
certain
a little while,
look.
yeah, for maybe a little while longer.
Okay,
But still, if people take those 1930s designs and they want to modify
right,
them, they
right.
can. They're fully willing to work within the confines of that and stay away from the other ones. So that the shield will look different on Captain America and Superman, right?
Yeah,
But
right. You
but
still, yes,
whatever.
variation of it. It's
Yeah.
just amazing. It says 34 freaking billion
Billion
dollars of
dollars.
debt, net
Debt.
debt, and they're just like, yeah, we're gonna assign that to the TV
Look,
part networks, and you're
I've
like,
been
what would you do with that if you were on the TV side of things, and that was where you were? Like, what would you even do with that? I don't
yeah.
even know how you could prepare to even work with debt like that, and then
Look,
still try to produce
the CW never
content.
made a dollar. The CW never made a dollar.
No, it shouldn't have. I mean, that shit was terrible.
Some of it was actually pretty good for
Man,
a
come on,
minute.
stop lying, stop it,
No,
stop
okay.
it, stop it.
Listen, you got to go back to what was made by the CW, right? The first two seasons of Flash were amazing. The first two seasons of Arrow were amazing.
Amazing's a strong adjective now.
They were. They were true
I'm
comic
just
book
fucking with you.
superhero things. Hell, you could go back to Dawson's Creek, okay? I mean, come on.
No, there were some, there were some successful shows
Was it
that.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer or CW?
Oh boy, you'd have to get me on that one. I don't know. I was not a Buffy fan, to be quite honest with
Oh,
you.
oh,
It wasn't my jam back then. I
oh!
was a
One of the
Beverly
greatest TV
Hills.
shows
I don't know. I
ever.
was like a 90210. I don't even know what was on when Buffy was on. To be honest, I think I was out chasing tail and playing drums. Um, and
Yeah, I was doing that and hanging out at GameStops and playing Final Fantasy VII. Yeah.
TV was the last thing on my mind, and don't get me wrong, Buffy was fire. UPN Viper South says
Okay.
Buffy,
Yeah. So,
Buffy, UPN. I
so
remember
did,
UPN. Same time, toys. What's up?
what's interesting about that is that WB became the CW, but UPN came in and took over that frequency for a while
Yes,
because
yes,
UPN was a Paramount thing,
that's
right?
right.
And Warner
Ooh,
Brothers and Paramount.
ooh. Speaking of Paramount,
Woo, whoop. Segue.
speaking of Paramount, good segue because, and boom, 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 I got it right here. Let's share this tab instead. So Warner Brothers is in trouble, that's for sure. They're looking at Superman to really, and I don't know if it's going to. And we're going to get into it here in a minute because we got to get to that too. Let's jump through this. Paramount makes more layoffs, several hundred employees axed, representing 3.5% of the U.S. workforce. Now, while that may not sound like a large percent,
That's a
okay,
huge percent.
well, you say, oh, well, 3.5 was it? Depends on the number. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
3.5 of 800,000,
No, it says
you may say,
3.5.
well,
Oh,
okay, whatever.
their workforce. Okay.
But it's 3.5% of its U.S. workforce
Yeah.
eliminated several hundred jobs domestically. That's in the U.S.
Yeah.
Because Paramount is struggling. And you would think, why would Paramount be struggling? Don't they have all the Yellowstone stuff? Don't they have all the 1923 and all the 1893 and all the something
Well,
33s?
so I'm actually kind of confused because Paramount and CBS go back and forth with rights on stuff, and then they merged or they didn't merge or they're the same company.
So
I
this
don't
is
know.
Paramount Global, all right?
Yeah.
And it says right here, it says you have cited linear TV declines and a dynamic macro environment for the layoffs. The pink slips come as the media company, parent of CBS, MTV.
Mhm.
Who gives a fuck about MTV? Paramount Pictures, Paramount Plus, and more is in a holding pattern. And the reason why, the merger with Skydance.
Yeah.
And it's waiting on FCC approval because Skydance Media. Now, do you know who's involved with Skydance Media?
Jar Jar Abrams.
I want to make sure I got my ducks in a row. I want to make sure I got my ducks in a row. Do you know who else is in bed with Skydance Media, who has a very large say in Skydance Media?
I'm pretty sure. Go ahead.
Tommy Cruise. Tommy
That's right,
Cruise.
because the Mission Impossible stuff.
Look,
Yeah.
Viper Scout nailed it. And by the way,
Yeah.
I did want to mention this really quickly because I saw. Let me make sure I go
Yeah,
back and find it.
I mean, he did take a chunk of Skydance with the success of the Mission
Oh
Impossible
yeah,
films. He worked that
Garaf.
into his contracts.
Garaf, real quickly. I did not catch the 60 minutes clip from the Joe Barbera from '85, but I love some Film Threat. I watch Film Threat practically every day.
Yeah.
And I need to check that out. So I'm glad you
Yeah.
brought that up because I want to check that out and see. But I love some Chris Gore. Love some Chris Gore since G4 TV back in the day, and Film Threat is one of my mains. Absolutely one of my mains. That's my go-to. But yeah, it's interesting because as survivor of CBS Paramount, the tribe has spoken. Yeah, it's interesting though because you know.
CBS All Ass was the worst streaming service
Oh,
ever.
all access.
All Ass, yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, garbage.
I
But
mean,
but
you couldn't get full screen on anything
but
on that.
the reason why this 3.5% is a big deal is because they already cut 15%.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
and then how
back
many did
last
Disney
year.
lay off? Just a couple weeks ago too. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're all and you text me something. And do you remember what you just texted me earlier
yeah,
about
oh yeah,
these companies and
yeah.
about these main three companies and what was that?
The just the fact that they're telecom, they're uh,
I'll read it to you really
yeah. Just
quickly
go ahead and pull it back
because
up because I don't
the
know
fact
which.
the
Yeah,
fact that the top three Hollywood studios,
yeah,
Disney, Universal, and Warner, two of the three are in so much debt they're broke. Hollywood is run by a telephone company,
yep.
AT&T,
AT&T.
a mail order company in Amazon, and a tech company in Google. That is, to me, a long ways away from MGM,
Yep.
right, and 20th Century Fox
Yeah.
and all the studios that built it up. Now things
Yeah.
change. It is what it is. But I find it interesting that yeah, you're right. It's AT&T, and then obviously you
There's
have like
those three companies
Disney and
are controlling the vast majority of media that's coming out of Hollywood for entertainment purposes. So you have corporate ideologues coming in there and changing things for what they want on their contracts or whatever they feel
yeah.
is necessary for the corporate world, and that's why it all sucks. And
It,
there's
it
no creativity left allowed in the entertainment industry.
It, it's
because of
be,
them.
yes, it's because of losing money and you have to be risk averse because you're scared to death, right? You're
Yeah.
absolutely scared to death, and so yeah. But I thought that was interesting, and I love that when you sent that to me because I'm like, yeah, that is interesting. Well, the tech industry came in and pretty much took over.
Yeah.
They took over.
I
Um,
mean, you look at Google and Apple, and they are trying to control everything that they can control, and they're two sides of the same coin. But
right,
everything comes down to Coke versus Pepsi, right? Because what does Coca-Cola own? And you could list off all the
yeah,
subsidiaries of Coca-Cola. They own the vast majority of food and beverage supply in this country, and Pepsi owns the other half,
right.
right? And then you've got 5%, which is everybody else.
So
Uh,
let
but the big corporations are owning everything.
let's get to a couple of these comments too. Uh, that I definitely like. And this is from earlier from Sabir. So far, my heavy duty and my dial tone both made in China. China. Uh, I got in late January from Canada retailer
Yep.
for the same price as Pulse.
Yep.
Okay, well, I probably should have dug around, right? And I'd have them now. My cuz has dial tone for sure, but yeah, I definitely could have dug around.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, if you had the wherewithal, the searchability, or the time to look up the Canadian resources that were distributing in the
yeah,
United States and
sure,
stuff like that,
sure.
did you probably could have gotten a couple of those because dial tones were piling up in stores for a minute,
Um,
then they were gone.
yeah, well, yeah, story of my life.
Mhm.
Yeah, Dreadnought K6 like bragging about attendance numbers at non WNBA games. Who cares if it's a sellout if you give away 95% of the tickets? Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, you know
Um,
why? You know why they do that? Because if they can claim a sellout, they get television rights,
no,
and they get
you have to, right? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You can black out the game or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah,
Because if
and
you
so yeah.
don't have a sellout crowd or a certain percentage of your stadium filled with seats, they will not televise the game.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Gavin Newsom also brings some entertainment with his crazy tales. Don't forget that Californian Jim Garaf. He's definitely making a name for himself right now with the rest of the country. That's for sure.
I mean, that guy's
Uh,
cooking himself.
boy, oh
He's
boy, oh boy, oh.
roasted on a spit right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I went over some of it on Sunday night. Not with him in particular, because
Yeah, yeah.
what's there to talk
I mean,
about?
what's happened in the past couple of days for him has
Yeah, no,
not
yeah,
been great.
absolutely. So the Vision series reportedly recasts an MCU character after a 4-year absence.
I mean, why would Paul Bentley want to come back to play this character?
I don't know.
Why would he want to come back?
So
Why does anyone want to see Vision do anything again after everything that's went on in WandaVision
now
and everything else?
Tommy Maximoff is set to make his grand return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Wait. Tommy Maximoff?
Yes, so
Is that the actor's name?
no, it's Daniel Richtman
Oh, okay.
is
Okay.
reporting that the now this is per comic book movie. Daniel Richtman is the reporter. He's reporting that actor
Okay.
Ruarid Molika, who was
Okay.
cast as the character Tucker back in February, will actually be playing Tommy Maximoff in
Oh, okay.
Vision Quest. So Vision's show is going to be called Vision Quest, and I knew this show was in the works. I really didn't care so much. The reason I brought this up, not to spend too much time on it, the reason I brought this up is not because of a character like, a new actor taking a. It's that are they gonna go forward with a Vision series at this point? Like, it just doesn't make. Who's gonna watch this? Who's gonna watch this?
I don't know.
It's this makes no sense to me. Even if it was 9 episodes, why would you spend the money? Why would you spend the money on this? Terry Matalas is the one who's the showrunner, by the way.
Oh, well, I'm more interested. I like Terry Matalas.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So
if you
now do
don't
you
know, if
believe?
if if you don't know, Terry Matalas is one of the biggest Star Trek fans that there has ever been.
Yep.
And when Alex Klutzman gave up on his Star Trek universe and Picard and said, "Fuck it, I don't care who does season 3. I'm done with it." Terry's like, "I'll do it." He's like, "Sure, whatever, dude." And he made the epitaph for the next generation.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
He made an incredible season 3 of Picard. There's no other seasons worth watching,
Right.
just season 3, because Terry Matalas took care to make that series great. And that series is the true epitaph for Next Generation, in my
So
opinion.
that being my introduction to his work, and
Yeah,
maybe I've been introduced to other of it, but I don't know. But
maybe, I don't know. It's pretty obscure stuff, but
but being that introduction to his work, I liked what they did on
yeah,
Picard season 3. I actually thought it was good. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed
yeah,
watching every episode. Um, Vision Quest supposedly takes place shortly after the events of WandaVision, right? He
okay,
meets White Vision, right?
yeah,
So, you know, am I interested? I guess I am, only because of the character harkens back to that pre-COVID Avengers, that original couple 3 phases that were so good. But man, I just don't know, man. Like
I mean,
at this point, and it's been WandaVision came out in what, 2021?
yeah, I
22 maybe?
oh,
Woo,
I forget,
woo.
but it was a weird time. I like Terry Matalas. It's interesting to see that he's attached to it. I'm more interested now than I was before. But at the same time, I really don't care about the character that much. That's not one of my favorite Marvel characters.
Right.
So, you know,
Yeah, I don't know, man. Mm, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Um, let's see here. I had saved. I guess I kind of screwed up. It is what it is. Um, well, I had saved an article about some Avengers Doomsday plot leaks.
oh yeah,
Now, of course, you can take these with a grain of salt, right? You can always take them with a grain of salt, because who really knows?
yeah.
Um,
I don't know that I want to go over those, but
man,
we'll
you're just,
speculate.
hey, if you're scared, say you're scared. It's
I'm not.
fine.
It's not that I'm scared. I just don't know how many people want to listen to it
You know,
because they want to kind of go in.
I'll say this: you'd be surprised. You really would. How about this? I tell you what, I won't go over that, but I will talk about this then. There was a scene from Deadpool Wolverine, and it was a deleted scene from
Mhm.
Gambit that was actually meant to set up Avengers Doomsday,
Yeah.
and they deleted it out of the film.
Hmm.
It has since been shown. All right, so it has since been shown on. By Ryan Reynolds. Okay, so
Oh yeah,
this is
because he's the chief leaker, man. You know
yep,
that.
yep. This is the scene right here. There's Gambit, and old Channing Tatum, friend to you and me, Duke. All right, and if you look up, you'll see he's looking at, and that's the TVA time rift thing, right, where he can
Yep.
jump through.
Yep.
And so this was meant to set up, because there's rumors, folks,
That he's in it. Yeah.
that he's in it.
But everybody's in it, and so
He
nobody's going to get a character
well
moment.
he
They're just
he
going to
is.
get passed by the screen. Hey, look at me! I'm in it. Hi.
I truly wonder about that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
truly do wonder about that. As far as him, really being in
Yeah. They've
you know
got so many people
Doomsday.
attached to Doomsday. I cannot imagine that the camera's just not going to be panning the whole movie over all these people. And look, he was in it. He was in it. He was in it. She was in it. She was in it. He was in it.
So here's the deal, though. You do know, man, that and look, I'm not gonna go over them, because I don't want you, if you're worried about people, and I think a lot of people in here don't really give a shit personally.
Okay, that's fine. I don't
But
care.
but
But
as far as plot leaks,
yeah,
but there at the end of Fantastic Four, there is a stinger scene
yeah,
at the end that sets up the
Doomsday.
Doomsday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, involving Franklin Richards.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other leaks, man. There's set photos. There's like it's pretty interesting. But I'll save it. I'll save it. And if there's another stream coming up here soon, maybe we'll talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind talking about it, but I just didn't know how many people want to go in and not have things potentially spoiled or whatever.
No, trust me, I get it, and
Okay.
there are people who are definitely like for sure hardcore right about it.
Hmm.
Um, Unfortunately, for a lot of us, man, it's been what sucks about it is that there hadn't really been that many shows where we're worried about getting spoiled, right? It's like a
Yeah.
lot of us don't care because we're
Yeah.
just like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. I mean, even movies that people have wanted to go see, they
And
feel like they don't even.
and I think there's a lot of that that's going on with Superman and Fantastic Four. But I still think that there's a lot of people that want to see those movies and experience them for what they should be. An unspoiled thing. And while they have potential to be the biggest movies of the year, Fantastic Four is not going to do as well as Superman. And I don't think Superman's going to make $1 billion. And if it doesn't make $1 billion, it's not going to be a success.
Yeah, well, it's not going to. We're gonna get into
Yeah.
Superman here in just a second. It's funny, Graph says spoilers used to suck. Now they save me from wasting money.
No, yeah,
I think that's how
I get it.
a lot of people feel. I think that's how
I
a
mean,
lot of people feel. And trust me, 3 star, I already noticed that.
yeah, yeah. That's why I kept talking.
Thank you. Uh,
I
yeah,
mean, Fantastic Four is going to be a girl boss saves the universe movie. I mean, if we talk about Pedro Pascal and his relationship with Kirby,
yeah,
uh, Offset, how they developed their relationship, and how much he praises powerful women, telling him what to do. He's such a male feminist. I'm surprised any woman would be alone with him ever. Um, you know, it, it's a mess. And both of these movies are a mess. Now, how much they could salvage in the last 30 days based off of the test screenings and what both movies are trying to change, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
I think both of those films are going to be in the $600 to $700 million range.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's where we're looking at, and unfortunately, from a budget standpoint, I think we're looking at
I mean,
both of those films
500
losing
million
money.
at a minimum at this point. At a minimum, 500 million.
Shit, man. And I know most people think, God, you hate everything, you know, but like I don't. I want this stuff to be good, right? I would love this Fantastic Four movie to knock me off my feet and be
Do you know
like,
how
hell
long I've been
yes.
waiting for a really good, well produced Fantastic Four movie?
Well, I mean, it's forever because
Yeah, it hasn't been done yet.
that's a
The
really
Roger
good time.
Corman was not a high budget movie, and it's still the best
And
Fantastic
Rise of
Four
the
movie.
Silver Surfer was brutal.
Okay, so I have affinity to it because it's Silver Surfer and it's Doug Jones and it's Lawrence Fishburne,
I hear
and
ya.
there's elements of that I really like what they did because they used practical effects for as much as they could.
Yeah.
And you know what, the actors that they got to play the Fantastic Four I thought worked really well. I like the first movie, but honestly, I always thought they could do better, and so
Yeah.
did the audience.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
agree.
not
And it
alone in that.
showed. I mean, the first movie, with the Jessica Alba lineup,
Well, and then
did
everybody
did
gave her
pretty
shit about
well.
being Sue Storm when that movie came out.
Right. I mean, the second one definitely did not do well, but the first one
Yeah,
did pretty well. I mean,
first one, yeah.
and she's
And
fine.
Fan Four Stick was just nothing.
Yeah, no, it's brutal. Did someone say, Pedro, get the trench coat photo out again? Don't you make me do it, Roddy Trick Shot. I'll break out that trench coat photo for you. I'll break out the glow stick photo for you. The rainbow stick. So quick, your head'll spin, or your butt'll spin. I don't know, whatever they say. Let's watch Ironheart second trailer, shall we?
Do we have to?
Only because I have a
do you guys want to see this? Come on. All
only.
right. Where's GI Jet, man? He wants to see it. Yeah, I'm sure he's
Oh
already seen it.
shit! That's right. Where in the hell is Judge Viper Scout? Why? No, no, my night is ruined. Just the very beginning.
Look,
Just
you know
the
what? It's a better trailer than the last one.
it is. I think.
You know, you gotta worry about that music
My
stuff, but I
stepdad
mean,
used to say the best way to know a thing.
Wait, she said her stepdad.
where's the real dad?
Where's her real?
We going stereotypes again?
They keep doing this shit.
It's not racist. It's true.
It's their
So
fault.
take it apart.
Oh,
Put it
right.
back together.
I bet you Ryan Coogler is like, man, I wish they wouldn't quit. I wish they would quit using my name.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know how he feels about that stuff. I quite honestly, I think Creed was probably one of the best things that he did. You know, he made a lot of money off
Sinners
of Black
has
Panther.
done fantastically
And Sinners.
well.
Yeah, I mean, Sinners has done
Right.
really well for him. So I am ecstatic for this guy. I think he's very talented. I think he's been
Yeah.
pigeonholed,
Yeah.
and they're using racial stereotypes on him to get him to make these racial movies. And
I
he's so
actually-
much more than that.
Man, I agree with you. And I think as a filmmaker and I think as a creative, I bet he really does hate the fact that he's kind of gotten shoehorned into
Yeah.
this thing, right?
Yeah,
And I think Sinners was one way for him to try to break out of it
yeah,
in a way.
in a
right?
way, yeah.
But it also is a story that he wanted to tell that
Sure.
does fall into that a little bit as well. So,
I mean, but what's different is that was his story, right? He wanted to tell that story, and I think that's
Yes.
a big difference there.
Yes,
Need to
I
see what it's
agree.
really made
You know,
of.
he owes a lot to Marvel, but
You should take your dad's advice.
you know,
Well, I
Make
mean,
yourself
Black
mad.
Panther, the first Black Panther, there's
See what-
just nothing. I just don't know what looks interesting about this show, and in all honesty, just from a
she
it-
wants to be iconic by doing what other people have already done. So she can't be iconic because she's taking what other people have already done.
But I think what
because
makes,
they don't know what the word iconic means.
I think also what makes, if you think about it, what also makes or breaks a show is
Jesus Christ, that shot that you froze on, the lighting, the composition, so many things.
It's pretty bad. But is the supporting cast, right? Like your B plot, your supporting cast in a show,
Yeah.
and so often in a lot of these Marvel shows, they've been really bad. Like they just, your supporting cast and what they have them do, what their purpose is within the show has been really bad, and
Yep.
and this doesn't look to improve upon that.
Well, just
really at
remember, this movie was done 3 years ago.
I think there's a lot of people that really don't know that. I think there's a lot of people who really don't understand that at all. And
That it's been in the
have
can for
no
3
clue,
years.
have no clue that it's been in the can for 3 years.
Wait, here it is.
Riri, time to wake up, love. What are you? Your greatest creation yet. Who the hell else would it be, bitch?
Is she Jarvis? Oh, come on.
She created her own AI support structure. It's better than Jarvis. It's better than Tony Stark. You know what's really sad? That ruins the whole thing right there for me. But what's really sad to me is the fact that I believe Ryan Coogler said this. He said her mentor is Tony Stark, right? And what he meant was that her mentor is the AI of Tony Stark.
Well,
because
I was
Tony
gonna
Stark,
say, yeah, we
Tony
didn't
Stark
know-
is dead, right?
Yeah.
But his AI is generated from him. He was created this AI, and that was her mentor. That's who helped her through this whole process. But now you got to take that away, and Black Girl Magic's got to make a whole new AI.
I think that I just think a lot of people are gonna find this the dialogue very cringy, right? They're gonna find like a lot of it very cringy.
I don't think so because I don't think anybody's going to watch it.
Man, oh gosh, I don't know,
They
man.
have not promoted this. They have swept it under the rug.
True, it's true.
They have not. They have held on to it for 3 freaking years, right?
Yeah,
This was supposed to. This was completed. So over 2 years in January of 2023 is when this was completed.
it 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 is amazing that it's been that long. They've sat on it for a really
Yeah,
long time. They really do not want to get into
don't
it.
they don't.
But maybe
Everybody that is on the insiders in Marvel, anybody who's seen it, anybody who's worked on it, anybody who knows anything about it, they don't want it released, but they have to. They've
there
committed.
he is.
They've committed to it.
GI Jet Man. What's up, man? No, we don't want you to leave. Of
Of course
course not.
not.
Um, we was wondering because we hadn't heard from you, and I
I was
figured we
like, hey,
probably
we're
would
talking
hear
about your
from you.
favorite stuff right now.
Um,
Come
I,
on, tell
I,
us we're wrong. Tell us how
I,
much you're excited about it.
Well, I guess my main thing is I am curious. I'd like to know because like even shows that we thought we were really gonna like Born Again, and then when you look at the numbers and you find out that they're nowhere in near the top 75 of the top
Yeah.
watched shows in minutes watched. Right? If I mean I don't even know how we measure this shit anymore. It's really
You
hard
know
to,
what?
to really figure out anymore. But
You know
there's
what
a
the
lot of
most
things
watched
that
shows on
just
Disney
don't
Plus
show
are?
up. Uh, well, if you're talking about like just
No,
your regular like
th-
children's content,
no. I'm talking about across the entire platform. What is the most watched programming on Disney Plus?
shit. If I had to guess, it would be just your what IP do they own that's probably huge. I don't know what they buy. What they buy lately.
Number one, Bluey.
That's right. There you go. I knew it
Number
was something
two,
like that.
you know what number two is?
Fat Albert and the gang.
Pretty close.
Damn it.
Phineas and Ferb, because they just
Oh
released
yeah,
season
that's
5.
right.
They
That's
just
right.
released season 5, and season 5 is awesome. They picked up right where they left
I
off a
love that
decade ago.
show. I thought that show was freaking awesome,
That
dude.
show is
I love that
amazing,
show.
and they picked off right
So
where they
good.
left off. There's only two voice actors that didn't come back to reprise their roles, which is Ferb, unfortunately, and Jeremy. They have two different people playing those characters,
Okay.
but they're continuing the stories and they are breaking the fourth wall. They are entertaining. Everybody's a little bit more mature because it's next summer. So the whole show starts out as Phineas and Ferb finish their school presentation on what they did over the summer on the last day of school,
Lovely.
and so they get out.
Lovely.
They get out early to start the new summer break, and so we're on to a new summer break, and we have a whole new set of stories. And
All right.
Candace sounds a little bit different because
Okay.
it's been a decade,
Yeah. That
but
makes sense.
everything is still hitting all the right notes.
I'd like to check it out because I've watched all the episodes from the prior, years ago. I did. Yeah. 3-star talking about Looper.
Wait,
one of
wait.
those-
Hold on a second. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Looper has a good video on this. I listened to today. One of those all you need to know before watching Ironheart type videos.
That's funny.
Now, 3-star also says G.I. Jetman is here, raring for a debate with Matthew Matson, and I would love to. Tonight's probably not the night, but maybe another night for sure.
What do you mean started on Bluey? I I love Bluey.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
what are you gonna do to Bluey? Because
Ronnie-
I love Bluey.
there's nothing Matthew will say about Bluey because I know that he's all in, all in. Now, as far as Mephisto and who's gonna play Mephisto, I don't know.
Do you know why that they're putting Mephisto in this?
Because they have to bring something
No.
interesting.
No, it's a much simpler explanation. Because throughout the press tour for WandaVision And as they're going
Oh
around,
God,
and
I
everybody said,
forgot
"Oh
about
my
this.
God, are you
Yes.
bringing in Mephisto? Are you doing Mephisto?" And she's like, "Who the fuck's Mephisto?"
Who is Mephisto? The showrunner had no idea, never read the comics, didn't think it was important. None of the source material. Yeah, I remember that. Oh my God.
That is specifically why Mephisto's coming in, and they fucking destroyed. They're
Holy
not going to do
shit.
Mephisto right. They're going to fuck up Mephisto
Yeah, that's a
in
shame.
every way possible, and it's going to be so frustrating.
Okay, so look, because we got to give our reviews here in a little bit before we get out of here. Let's talk some Soups news because there's a bit of it. There's a bit of it, and I've got it saved. So let's get it on. I did get this today. I am an Amazon Prime member. I'm an Amazon Prime member, and I can go see, as well as many of you who have a Prime account or a Fandango fan account, you can go see Superman early on July 8th instead of July 11th. You can see it 3 days early. It would be lovely to go see Superman 3 days early. I'd love to do that. Matthew, I'm sure you would too. But guess what July 8th falls on? And there's only one screening time in my time zone, which is 7 Central. Guess what day July 8th falls on?
Tuesday.
A Tuesday. So if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can go get tickets right now for Superman. See it 3 days early. If you want to be the first on your block, the first kid on your block to see it, you can tell all your friends, hype them up, or tell them to stay far, far away. Whatever. But yeah, it's July the 8th, and I was like, oh hell yeah, I'll see it 3 days early. Maybe do an out of the theater review or something like that, or just something goofy. And then I'm like, wait, what day is that? Oh, it's a Tuesday. So I will not be seeing Superman. And it's the only time, too. They're not going to do one on the 9th. They're not going to do one on the 10th. Just the 8th. But you guys may have gotten this today, and I just wanted to show that just to see. It definitely would be cool to check it out. But but basically, and it's like I said, Fandango, Amazon Prime, you can get them. You can get the tickets through there. So here's something that I came across. Now this is from June the 9th, but I don't think you and I talked about this, and I wanted to go over this. So right now, it's reported that James Gunn has reworked the narrative from a day-by-day format to a single narrative format. Now, this was yesterday, and per the report, it says that James Gunn wrote the Superman movie script in an episodic structure, but the final cut, a month away from premiering, moves away from the day-by-day format. According to Daniel Rickman, who we just talked about, Superman initially had an episodic nature, breaking the story up by days. It has reportedly been turned into a continuous single narrative in the final edit. Now, I do have the new TV spot also if you'd like to watch it.
Listen, this is a movie. It's not episodic television. Why would you write it episodic if you're making a movie?
It really does. This reminds me of Rise of Skywalker. 2 weeks before Rise of Skywalker came out, they were still editing the movie. Now, by no means the original Star Wars. They were chopping it up.
Yeah.
Right up to prep.
Yeah, for sure. But The Rise of Skywalker had 6 different scripts, and they couldn't figure out what to do with them. And they amalgamated what they thought were the best portions of those 6 scripts to make the movie that was eventually finally released that nobody liked.
And damn it, 3-star draw, you better not go. By God. You better not go to that.
Yeah, I showed that already.
Okay, sorry. I was reading. I don't know. Is there a Wonder Man show? I don't know. They doing that?
Okay.
Maybe.
So Wonder Man show. Okay,
There,
that's what that's. I was like Wonder Marshmallow.
so
What?
there is news. There is news
So
though. Wonder something. We'll get to it.
well, so initially Wonder Man was supposed to be Nathan Fillion,
Right.
right? They were
Right.
going to do a whole Wonder Man TV show on Nathan Fillion, which would have been interesting in the Snyderverse. Well, now they can't do that. So I have no idea what the Wonder Man show is even supposed to look like at this point. So I have no care in the world
Just
about it.
really quickly, and I'm going to play this. Menjoza, what's going on with you?
What's up?
What is really going on? Okay. We reported that the budget for Superman is reportedly 225 million. According to the Hollywood Reporter, DC Studios could spend as much as 200 million on the global marketing campaign for Superman compared to the usual 150 million. So they're going to spend 425 million dollars on a movie that's going to make between
Wait, and then remember they fired the editor, hired a new composer,
yes,
and
yes,
are
yes,
reworking the
yes,
entire movie.
yes.
How many millions of dollars is that going to cost on top of that $425 million that they've already said that they're spending on this? So it's like I said, it's a minimum of $500 million.
It's a mess. It's a freaking mess, dude. All right. So this is a new TV spot. I don't know what the language is. I don't know where this is.
I know Wonder Man is Marvel and not DC, but still, it was supposed to be Nathan Fillion, and I don't see that happening.
I do think they're introducing a lot of too many new characters into this movie.
Yes.
I think they're cramming way too much into a movie
Yes.
that should really. We don't have to have that origin and that high school experience and like a blah blah
Yes.
blah whatever. But it seems to be they're cramming, and they've already shaved like 25 minutes off of the runtime. So
25
now
minutes is a freaking lifetime in a movie.
absolutely. So you have even less time to explore
Yeah.
these characters. So
Look,
we're going to get this hodgepodge of characters that are either going to be working against him and then with him. There are
this
some
is
screenshots too. We'll look at.
this is what I've said from the beginning. James Gunn does not know how to tell anything but an ensemble piece, a comedic ensemble piece of quirky characters. That is all he's good at. That's all he knows how to do, because all these rewrites and everything that he's talking about is showing me that he doesn't know how to write Superman worth a crap. He doesn't know how to write an individual character that is of such moral integrity that should be presented on screen in such a way with all these reshoots and everything else that they're doing. It's
Right.
he doesn't know what he's doing, and he can't be
So-
in charge of the whole universe.
So let's see though. Let's see. Edmund Joseph says, "I get it though. It's so we fans don't say, but where was blank during blank?"
Yeah. Well, okay. No, maybe, but no. If you watch this Entertainment Weekly thing,
Oh, I have it. I have
Yeah.
it queued up.
and,
I have
and
it queued up.
everything in the marketing about this movie has not been about Superman. It's been about James Gunn. And that proves the fact that he doesn't know what he's doing, because he's not promoting Superman.
So-
he's promoting
So
himself.
here's okay. So to give you an example, I'll give you an example right here. Here's the log line from DC Studios for Superman. In his signature style, James Gunn takes on the original superhero in the newly imagined DC universe with a singular blend of epic action, humor, and heart, delivering a Superman who's driven by compassion and an inherent belief in the goodness of humankind. That's their log line. And at the very beginning of it, it literally says, in his signature style,
Yep.
James Gunn. and I get
His
it. I
signature
get it.
style is ensemble quirky humor.
Right. So that's why maybe we're getting somewhat of an ensemble cast.
Verging on PDF files.
Let's check out this.
Eventually, people are going to find out that you're Superman.
Yeah, but the glasses.
Hey, loser. You're a loser.
He's not a man. He's an it.
So already I like this trailer better than the ones we've seen, because it just gets right to it.
Well, but having hold on a second. Having seen the previous one, you already know that line is eyes up here. Like, they're staring at his breasts or something, and he says eyes up here, and he goes and flies. And then when he calls the other guy, no, you're the loser. It's like,
Right.
what? I mean, that's not a Clark statement. That's the dumbest thing in the world. That's this aggressive behavior that he's presenting that is not Clark Kent. But anyway, go ahead.
I love the selfie girl taking
The
the picture.
selfie girl.
That's, we've seen that. We've seen this.
Who's that guy you were seeing?
We haven't seen that.
Oh, I like strange.
I mean, I like that spot better than what we have gotten previously already. Let's see here. I'll show some new images from the movie. Let's see here. Come on.
Graf, you're right. Yeah, the new one does hide what we've already seen, right?
Yes, it does. So there's a big article in Entertainment Weekly. James Gunn had a lot to say. There are some new images from it. I mean, there's just not much I can say. I mean, I don't know what you guys feel about the costume. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you know what you guys feel about what this looks like. I'm not sure myself what I feel about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't feel anything about it yet. We got to see it in the movie. We got to see how it's presented. It doesn't feel as iconic as previous costumes have. So I don't know.
It definitely doesn't. And Menjoza, I kind of agree with you. It's like the snark and the modern deconstructions. It strikes again kind of thing. Like it. There are lines like that in the film. There are snarky comments coming from Superman. I mean, the red trunks, Viper Scout. Yep. Otherwise, I don't know.
So
They kind of low on the hips too, just a little bit. I don't need them to be Speedos, but I don't know. They kind of look a little low for me.
Yeah, go back to that image real quick.
Okay.
Do you know what that image looks like to me? Have you ever seen the Fun School Superman?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's made from a G.I. Joe.
Right.
That's what that looks like. That looks like Fun School Superman with G.I. Joe battle axe grip.
It is weird because you got all these like these lines, these kind of yeah, right. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Part of it feels like he's wearing body armor, but I'm like, why would he need body armor?
Yeah, I mean it's designed.
Like why would he need it?
Yeah.
It looks like armor on the shoulders. There we have Lois, and who the hell is this guy?
Mr. Terrific.
That's Mr. Terrific. Yes.
Yeah. And to me, he doesn't quite look exactly like Mr. Terrific because Mr. Terrific was like a running back. I mean, he was a football player. He's a shorter, wider kind of tough guy.
Right.
And they made him tall and skinny.
Now this is fucking terrible.
Okay, so I'll say I don't like the costume, but these are what Maxwell Lord costumes or whatever. Okay, fine, whatever. The bowl cut and the stupid thing or whatever.
Right.
I hate Guy Gardner with a passion. I don't want
the bowl cut looks terrible.
Yeah, it looks terrible. Nathan Fillion should be a Hal Jordan type of character, not a Guy Gardner type of character. And this kind of makes me mad. He gets to play Green Lantern again, but
so do you know who's playing Hawk Girl?
I don't know the actress's name. No.
She's in The Last of Us.
Oh.
She plays Ellie's girlfriend in The Last of Us season 2. Yeah. That's her. It's Isabella Merced.
And Carter Hall are going to have a thing in this or not?
I don't know. Clint Jorgensen's here says he has Harry Christmas's haircut. Yes, absolutely. But I mean that. I'm sorry, folks. This Guy Gardner, this looks awful, and I mean fucking awful. This is a terrible shot, a terrible angle on this character. I mean, holy Jesus. It's not good. I'm sorry. It's just not good. The chicks, whatever, fine. I don't care.
One other thing. I love Nathan Fillion. I love the roles he's plays. I watch him in The Rookie. I love The Rookie.
I love the character. I love Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion is amazing. Guy Gardner is supposed to be a young, dumb motherfucker with a fucking bowl cut, and he's like a stupid ass football player. He's either got a buzz cut, flat top, or he's got a bowl cut, and he's
His
just
best years were in high school.
Yeah, I mean that's Guy Gardner to me, and Nathan Fillion doesn't fit that persona, and so I'm disappointed in that casting.
And G.I. Jetman gets it, like, why the F Guy
Yeah.
Gardner? I definitely don't. There has to be a reason why he decided to go with this, this character.
Because they're
Right.
doing a Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart series.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they are. That's right. So they've got it. Well, then even then, why? He doesn't even have to be here.
Right.
He doesn't need to be here.
Because I don't know if they've cast Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner.
Oh no, Graf. Man, you nailed it. One of those 80s children, the Corn Kids, now at 50.
There you go. That's it.
Holy Jesus. So, here we have Lex, right? We have Lex. Nicholas
I mean, I love
Holt.
this actor also. I love the actor.
I do too. I do too.
He, in this universe, in this setting with Corn Sweat, he seems a little young to play Lex, but
And then we get some baddies here. We get whoever that is, and then we get Lex's girlfriend, who is always portrayed as a snow bunny.
Miss Tesla.
So those are some new images that are in the Entertainment Weekly. They did an interview with James Gunn, and I'm not going. I don't even want to really read it to you, but there are a couple interesting points that I did want to bring up regarding the DCU, and one that I thought was interesting. And yes, that they confirmed there is a Wonder Woman movie officially in development in the DCU. There's actually a few interesting developments, and Gunn says that Wonder Woman's a separate thing, slow moving, but it's moving. We're working on Wonder Woman. He also makes some comments about Batman 2. It says right here, let's see here. Let me get down. Make sure, because I know. Okay.
Project, he might let it go.
Well, in the same interview, as of like yesterday, he mentions about Batman 2's moving along, that there's being a separate universe somewhat being created within that universe. Who's the director? What's his name?
Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves. Okay. So Matt Reeves is also developing like a Batman villain type thing, like he did with the Penguin, right? So there's gonna be TV that deals with these other kind of shows, but evidently Batman 2 still going on, still being worked on. He mentioned that in this interview with Entertainment Weekly. He brings up Wonder Woman. And then we get basically right now, as of this interview and everything, this is kind of the full slate with Creature Commandos. You've got a Waller live action, Superman live action movie, Lanterns live action TV series, The Authority live action movie, Wonder Woman, Paradise Lost, The Brave and the Bold, Booster Gold is a TV series, Teen Titans is a live action movie, Sergeant Rock, live action movie, Bane and Deathstroke, team up movie,
What the?
Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow,
That
live
will
action
kill it.
movie, and Swamp Thing, live action movie.
Okay, so the Supergirl movie has potential to kill everything that's been developed because they're using a Tom King version, and Tom King's a fucking idiot and doesn't know how to write anything. Former CIA spook guy that just is an idiot.
Right.
On people's lives. That's all he knows how to do. There's so many things on here that we can go through the list. I love Swamp Thing. I thought the TV show was good, except for they scrapped the last 3 episodes to give it to somebody else, that budget to another project. Teen Titans, if they don't fuck it up. The
I
Batman
love Teen Titans too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Teen
I
Titans,
really do.
but I mean they fucked up the TV show pretty bad. And the last season that they did was better than the rest. But honestly, if
Not that Teen Titans. I don't like that teen. I'm talking about the cartoon.
yeah. If this Superman movie does not do well,
All of this is in jeopardy.
all of this is in jeopardy except for the Batman 2.
I agree.
The Batman 2 gets bumped up if this Superman movie does not do as well as expected.
So could we live in a world where James Gunn gets let go?
Yes.
Could we live in a world where if Superman really does not deliver
Yeah.
and all of these plans get kind of flushed, could we see a world where they're like, we got to go in another direction, and then they pivot again with these properties or sell them off? I mean, there's no way Warner Brothers could sell these properties. This is their moneymaker. This is all they got. Obviously.
I don't know that they're that desperate yet. I mean, they're billions in debt, but I don't know if they're that yet because there's still potential there. I think they would rather cut ties with James Gunn and bring somebody in with a better vision.
Right.
I mean, hell, they could go back to Jeff Johns or something.
So let me get to a couple of these comments here, and then we're going to get into our I'll show this last piece with James Gunn on this promo, and then we'll get in our reviews.
Yeah, the James Gunn promo.
Yeah. Viper Scout definitely watching the movie. I assume Superman would be it. Let's see. Clint Jorgensen better be recasting Wonder Woman. I would assume they're getting away from the Snyderverse as far as they can get.
But who are they going to pick? I would love to see
Sydney
Adrian Pilecki.
Sweeney. Oh, I'm sorry. Who?
Yeah, of course. But I think Adrian
Who?
Pilecki.
Okay.
Adrian Pilecki actually played Wonder Woman in a pilot that didn't take off. Right. She also did Lady J in the Retaliation movie, and she was supposed to do the Lady J TV
No,
series.
she's fire. She's fire, but I don't think there's no way.
Well, at this point, I don't think either,
no.
But I can't think of somebody else to pick for Wonder Woman.
They'll come up with someone who will talk about how Wonder Woman has been underserved and not represented. Yeah, Jetman says, who is...
Oh, I got it.
Who?
Oh, shoot. I can't think of her name.
Well, that's terrible. You sound like me now.
16. What's her name?
Wait, who, what, when, where, how?
Yeah, exactly. Shoot.
Somebody 16?
Ghostbusters.
Oh, you talking about the nerdy girl? She's all grown up now? I don't know. You look it up while I read this comment. G.I. Jetman says, who is Bella Ramsey? Is she the ugly chick from The Last of Us? Ding, 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 ding. She's rumored for a role in my favorite thing that I always defend. And that would be... What would that be?
Leslie Jones.
Oh, stop it. Shit.
Leslie Jones for Wonder Woman.
You better not be taking that subway train. I hear the subway train coming. There's a ghost in there. Oh, God, stop it. Dreadnought says, okay, I've heard enough. Someone annihilate my skull and brain, a la Negan. Metal bats are fine. And then we're talking about, obviously, with Superman. Pedro Garaf might be the front runner to play Wonder Woman. I'll tell you what, keep your eyes on Pedro over the next couple of years, because there might be some changes. A Bane series.
At the Man in the Mirror.
You got
trying to
that
make
right.
a change.
You got that right. I don't even want to play the damn video. I know Ronnie Trickshot's like, please play the video. Show us the trench coat. Bane series would be awesome. With Deathstroke, that could be pretty fun. Jenna Ortega as Wonder Woman, says Viper Scout. And Ronnie Trickshot, we
I
just
like
said it.
I don't think that role fits her.
I know, right? Pedro Pascal to play Wonder Woman. You heard it here first, says Ronnie. I get it. You and I are on the same page. Young Justice, says Menjoza. Yes. I definitely, though, would love to see a Teen Titans a la the cartoon. I really, really, really do. I do love that. And Clint says, yeah, Pedro as Wonder Woman. I'm telling y'all, you'd think I'm kidding. And people think y'all are kidding, but like in the next couple years, you never know. Pedro may become Patricia. It's happened. You know, stranger things have happened before. Mark Ruffalo. Oh, Jesus. Say it ain't so. Casting couch results with James Gunn will determine. Oh, no. You guys are killing. Viola Davis. Rachel Zegler as a good Wonder Woman. She would tank the entire movie. She'd say the original Wonder Woman is that story is so cringe. It's so weird.
It was written by a weird man who was into bondage and and inventing the lie detector. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's what was into
Oh shit.
amorous relationships and developing a lie detector. That's what the creator of Wonder Woman did with his life.
I know, right? It's I can't even. I'm trying. I swear I'm trying. Okay, damn it. Here you go. Just for you, Ronnie Trickshot. Damn it. Come on up. Come on up. I'm no, I don't want video. Okay, there you go, Ronnie. There you go, Ronnie. Just for you. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Just for you, my friend. Just for you. All right. That's all I got to say.
All right. You guys have Entertainment Weekly promo?
Yeah, I do. I've got it. Let me get it here.
Superman phone booth. It's awesome. It's great.
Yeah, with him and Lois.
I mean, it was 90% good till the end.
Yep, it is interesting. Let's see. Let me turn this down. And let's see. And this is from Entertainment Weekly. Oh, wait a minute. That's not it. That's the wrong video. Ronnie Trickshot, did you invade the stream? All right. Here's the real video, folks. All right. Let me I love how he's like, cut.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so this is a new promo shot for Entertainment Weekly. This is on their social media page, and I love, you pointed this out to me, and you gotta love it. No, come on. All right, Lois and Clark in the phone booth. Cute. I like it. I mean, it's cute. You know, it's fun. Reminds me of the TV show. And then wait a minute. Is that? Well, I'll be damned.
It's James Gunn's James Gunn.
Do you think James Gunn told them to point at the camera so James Gunn could smile?
James Gunn told James Gunn to point the camera to James Gunn to make
James Gunn is a hero, ladies and gentlemen. He truly is a hero. Once again, star of the new Superman movie. James Gunn.
And the star of Creature Commandos, and the star of Peacemaker, and the star of everything that's coming out of Warner Brothers DC Universe at this time is James Gunn. So it's James Gunn's James Gunn.
It's just something, man. Like, I don't know. I mean, what do you make of it, dude? It's dude really is like, he is full of it.
Somebody
And I like
hold on a
Guardians, right?
Yeah, yeah. Somebody should pull the reins on him and say, maybe this should be about Superman.
Oh yeah, I forgot. It
about
should be about Superman.
the movie that you're trying to promote or the TV show you're trying to promote. Not
Correct.
because if you're promoting yourself, this is all self-promotion. It's all masturbation, motherfucker.
I just don't. I mean, we know you wrote Guardians. We know you have a certain style. We know you did Suicide Squad. You know, we know that it's a good ensemble thing. It's comedy. We get it. But yeah, they really try. And I know you and I we joking on this, but like they really have tried to get people to understand that this is a James Gunn production, and they have put him at the forefront of the marketing. And I think it's a big mistake because I don't think that many people give a shit about James Gunn.
They don't. And they remember liking the Guardians movies, but they don't know necessarily why they liked the Guardians movies. And if they did, they would understand that he's not the right person for this. But also, they don't remember why he got fired from Marvel.
Well, I don't think. How many people in the chat know why James Gunn got fired from Marvel? And then the cast of the Guardians movies went apeshit crazy.
Yep.
And begged, said they would not come back to do the final film that was in production, or supposed to be in production. You know, it wasn't going to get made if they decided not to come back. But maybe you guys remember maybe why he got let go.
Yeah, Dreadnought K6, we know that you know why. But,
Well, no, Amy Adams. He said Amy Adams is prettier than, as far as Lois. Can't argue with that. Yeah. Oh, he knows about James Gunn. Yeah. Oh, Dreadnought. Yeah, for sure. My man. G.I. Jetman said Amy Adams is prettier. Yes, I agree.
Well, we don't want to say that word in the chat there, Johnny Reno, so don't highlight that chat. But
yeah, no, I get it. I can always see something different. But yeah, no, I get
it. I mean, that's ultimately why he was let go from Marvel. And then they said, oh, it's not that big a deal. And then they brought him back, because they realized that they couldn't make a third Guardians of the Galaxy movie or a Christmas special without him. And he had good ideas for that, and that could potentially be good. And they were pretty well received.
Yeah.
But that's all he knows how to do.
He made a lot of jokes. Now, here's the deal. All right. And Johnny Reno, it's not, so he's not per se, like, not that.
Well, as far as we know.
Usually we end up finding out the ones like Bryan Singer. You know what I'm saying? Like, we find out about the ones that right? When you know, you end up knowing.
Right.
But he was making jokes about that. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, okay, kids? Here's the deal. We've all made jokes. In that time period, what I will say is that was a very sensitive time period. Would you not agree? And making jokes in that time period could get you fired, even though they're jokes a lot of us have made, right? It's just facts.
Ever made a joke like James Gunn made that got him fired?
Now, I was going to say, yes, quoting that I agree. Not like that, but because the things he said, do a quick Google search.
Yeah,
the things he said are not necessarily like jokes. Like, I think a lot of us have made jokes about various controversial subjects, but it's how you talk about it, and it's how you word it, and it's how you say it, right? And most of us have that filter that allows us to like still joke about things, but still have a filter about it in a way. And then sometimes you don't have a filter because it's not a controversial topic, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so but in this instance though, like, the stuff that he actually, is tweeting, yeah, it probably for someone. Okay, here's the other thing, kids. When you're in a position like that, you kind of got to watch what you say.
Yep.
Doesn't mean you can't have free speech,
Well,
but there's
okay.
consequences.
Look, so
And what I'm going to say real quick, just to compare, what Gina Carano followed on her Instagram and liked or retweeted or whatever is nowhere near what
nothing.
James Gunn said
Nothing.
on
No.
his. They don't even compare. So that's all I want to say.
Also, those tweets, those comments, those jokes that were made,
Yeah,
were before he worked for Marvel. He made
Yes.
those. He made
That's
those
true.
way before he worked for Marvel.
That's true. So that brings in other, so it's a slippery slope. It's a
Yeah.
weird thing, but that was basically what it was. And I'll be honest with you, at the time when I looked at it and I went through it, I was like, well, if you weren't in the employee of said company or whatever, because at that time, we do have to admit, people were getting let go and canceled for
Yeah.
some of the most innocuous and
Yes.
small, weird things that got dug up from 14 years ago that
Yep.
they went to a Halloween party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or someone trying to get canceled over a fart joke in their high school yearbook.
Yeah.
I think we all remember that, maybe. Yeah. So there was a time where that shit was going on. So, but nonetheless, right now, it's interesting that they have put him at the forefront of the marketing for this movie. I'd like to see Superman be the forefront of the marketing of the movie. Bobby Wool's in the house too. What's up, Bobby? War Chest is back. And you're right, bringing obscure characters to life, right? And that's kind of the ensemble cast where you can bring characters that maybe don't get a lot of play and actually introduce them to people. Unfortunately, I think in this movie, it would be best to focus on fewer characters and then expand that in the next one, right?
And if they were things in the background and passing in mention, you don't need to show them to do a lot of that to create the larger world concept,
Right.
And honestly, the best thing to do is if you're worried about saying, where was this character during this event? Well, okay, you have a news story. Okay, they work at a freaking newspaper. You can have a news story about Green Lanterns doing this, or the Justice Society is spotted over here taking care of this thing, or whatever. You just have a passing comment or a news story about that happening somewhere else, and you move on. That way you don't have to cast people that will be tied into a role that they may or may not want to do because you did this massive thing that nobody gives a shit about.
Dreadnought K6, have a good night, buddy. All right, see ya. Get some rest. Danny Masterson. Yikes.
The Ranch was a really good show, and it didn't really last much after.
Well, he
left,
actually was a really talented person. So, but it's just a shame.
But when you got a horrible person, you got a horrible person.
Yes, you do. I will say this. And then we're gonna give these two reviews. So I think this movie's got a lot of problems, and you can tell by the way they're scrambling.
Yes.
By firing your editor, by getting a new composer, right?
Yes.
By
re-editing everything, reworking scenes, by
reworking the narrative, right? There's a lot. There just is a lot, there, and those are red flags. They just are. And a movie you're confident about, then you make it and you go into it confidently. This obviously reeks of like the studio tripping, and Gunn either acquiescing or whatever. But either way, they're spinning their wheels right now, or they're burning the midnight candle, I should say, probably working hard trying to patch this thing up to get it ready. And it's in less than a month.
Yep.
And man, that's going to go by by so fast, it's not even funny.
Corporate had their concerns, but once the test screenings happened, corporate clamped down on
Yeah.
James Gunn.
Yeah, it was
and
like,
made him put his nose to the grindstone, say, you gotta freaking fix this. This is your livelihood. This is what we were paying you for. You fuck this up and it ruins our entire company. Right. And
yes.
that's what they're on the
Yeah.
verge of. So he had to go back and pull back on the humor, pull back on the day-to-day serial storytelling method that he was trying to go for in a freaking movie. So
Yeah.
he
Just
had a
a
whole bunch
single
of bad
narrative.
ideas. And I said from the beginning, he's not the person to do this.
It's just too bad. I mean, I hope. I mean, I want it to be
I-
good.
I
I hope
want
it
it to be
is.
good. I
I
need a
hope
good
I'm
Superman.
surprised. So I hope when I
Yeah.
go see it, I'm surprised, and I come out going, hell yeah, like that was fun. That was, we'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be again. Star Wars was saved by a last minute edit by Marsha Lucas. So
Yeah.
so Ben Joseph Superman will be a bait and switch for the Hawkwoman movie, which I would be down for in its own movie. Could be interesting. I did see, obviously, in Creature Commandos, yes, James Gunn put himself in. Now, it wasn't him. It was the people who actually animated and wrote the intro and all that. They actually did that as a joke, and however, he did like it and thought it was funny. They loved it. It was their idea, and that's why that is kept into the actual opening credits of the show. It wasn't his idea, but he did put a stamp of approval on it. But his crew actually really wanted that. That's the official story out there. Take what you will, believe it or not.
And let's put this out there too. I don't doubt that he is a charismatic person that people love to work with. Otherwise, he would not have had the Guardians of the Galaxy cast fighting for him so hard to say we're not doing this movie without
you're right.
him.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
He is a charismatic person, but he is good at one thing and one thing only. And I have not seen anything to prove otherwise.
Yeah. Nope, I'm with you. All right. So we got time. We'll get into it. We'll both see it, of course, and give you an idea
for
of
sure.
what we think.
Can you talk for a couple minutes? Give me just a second.
Yeah, I can. Here, I tell you what. I'll stop that and I'll bring someone. Go ahead. Do you think? This is what we in the business we call vamping. Okay, vamping. Alien Earth. Have you guys seen the trailer for Alien Earth? Let me know, because I'd like to bring it up and take a look at it. It's a couple minutes long, for sure, but it looks bad as shit, and I really want to see this. What I worry is that the Alien franchise with Prometheus, right, with Revenant, Covenant, right, has been just fucked. It reminds me of the Terminator series. And there was a time where these movies meant something, right? And the first two, and then after that, they just degrading quality, right? Over and over and over and over. And Alien, and even Predator, right? Predator, for that matter, has just turned into just schlocky bullshit. Like, they don't know what to do with it. I will say this FX series, it's going to be on Hulu, which is a Disney product, by the way. So it's going to be on Disney, technically. Looks really good by the trailer. Like, the atmosphere, the world building looks great. I'm pretty excited for it. I can't wait till it comes out. I think it comes out in August 12th, actually. Alien Earth. I think it looks great. And I can't wait.
We'll see.
And Giraffe, actually, no, so I was wanting to make a commercial this past weekend, and I had a root canal on Friday, and Friday night I actually felt pretty good, but then Saturday I spent a lot of the portion of the day actually in bed because my left jaw was actually pretty sore, and I was very surprised that it was. because it felt great Friday night.
Well, if you're having issues with that, let me know, because I do treat TMD also. So
okay, well, you know, sometimes you get. I thought you were gonna say you treat TDS, and I was like, that's not me. Giraffe says, "Yep, 100%. Seen the trailer. Yes, by
You know what?
Mendoza.
I am a huge Alien and huge Predator
I know.
fan of
I
those
know.
properties. So I love to. I want good stuff to come from them so bad. I wanted to like Romulus so much. I thought the worst mistake they could ever make is going to Earth with aliens. So
Yeah,
I don't. I am
yeah.
trepidatious
Romulus is
about
bad.
this, but
Covenant,
we'll see.
you know,
Covenant was terrible.
Just been one miss after another, and so I'm
Well-
hoping in this format, a change of format like this
Yeah.
may allow them a little more time to give us world building, to give us.
I just wanted them to make a live action movie of Alien Isolation. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to
yeah.
see, because that's Ripley's
with you.
daughter, and it's
Right.
got a whole bunch of stuff in it, and it was really well done, and that's something that could be really cool. So I mean,
Right.
we'll see, but
We'll look at this and then we'll give these reviews real quick because I know we were asked, hey, did you and we're gonna review that too, Mendoza, here in just a second.
hey, Mendoza, I watched it today.
Yeah, and I've got thoughts. I got thoughts.
Let's bring it.
All right, let's check it out real quick.
9, 8, 7.
So,
What's the time frame?
this happens. This is 2 years before the original Alien movie.
Okay.
This is 2 years before the original Alien movie. That's the time frame. I will tell you and I want you guys to look out for this while we look at the trailer. And I'm gonna have to pause it bit by bit.
The aesthetic looks good so far.
Yes, it does. And what I really love about it, and you're going to see this, is there's a mixture of like dials and knobs and then also tech, right? So you get like this tactile feel with like they do in Star Wars, right? There's buttons to push and there's dials to turn and knobs to flip and shit. So I like that. You'll see some of this.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, 2020.
girl?
She's ready.
And this is a child that has cancer.
The first person to transition from a human body.
Oh, yeah.
So she's
Oh,
going to
that's right.
transition into an artificial body.
That's right.
So you'll see, look at the dial, look at the knobs, look at the
So,
stuff, right?
I got to tell you
Okay.
that as much as I love Blade Runner, Ghost in the Shell is probably one of my
of course.
favorite science
Come on
fiction
with
stories. Standalone complex, all 3 seasons, because there are 3 seasons. The 4th one, maybe not so much, but they tell an amazing story about what cybernization means, what putting your consciousness or your brain or your being into a mechanical object. What does it mean for humanity? And the storytelling in that is so phenomenal. The 96 movie and the TV series, different universes, but good stories. If they can come close to telling something like this here, there's something interesting that could happen.
Yes, I have a feeling it's going to be a large part of the story because this character is a large focus of it, right?
Right.
And there's something that, there's
they do it
something
right?
there's something to this also from within the world from an ingestion standpoint, if you understand what I'm saying. Because you're talking about, it's humans. And remember, they make androids that are like so closely resemble humans, right? That the aliens will, inject themselves and breed or whatever. Well, but in this particular case, this is early technology, right? So I don't know. Now, it says 2 years before the original Alien, so we know what happens in that movie too,
right?
So I don't know. We'll see. But I love the knob. Yeah, I love the dial. And then you just kind of have this right here.
You know what that reminded me of right there?
What?
That hand holding thing. Spock's brain. One of the worst episodes of Star Trek, the original series.
I don't know if I remember that one. I gotta tell you, I don't.
But they put the clone in the
mirrored.
person.
Yeah, been mirrored.
They put the clone in the person, and they spun them around until they merged.
So Prodigy City is one of 5 mega cities, and they're mega corporations that rule the world. And there's 5 of them around the world, and they make.
So wait, are they stealing from? Are they stealing from Judge Dredd?
Imagine I know. Imagine well, this is in the lore of the stuff. So this has been for a while. That's what I've been looking at. So there's 5 mega corporations, Wayland Yutani being one of them, right?
Yeah.
Prodigy City is a giant city. Imagine Amazon, but the size of like New York.
Prodigy. Okay. Do you remember Prodigy? Did you ever?
I remember the
Prodigy?
band Smack My Bitch Up.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. What? Oh, as an internet thing?
As one of the first internet providers.
Yeah.
Prodigy service.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so we have a giant ship, right?
We have a downed spacecraft.
Comes in, crashes through the city.
What's on that ship?
And then this is kind of like, hey, we got to go check out, what's on the ship, right? So
did she just slap a katana on her back like she has a magnetic back and the sword's going to stick to it?
Yes.
Is that what that was? Okay.
Yes, and yes. So check it out again.
I mean, that's the only way you can draw it from your back. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Ask
Remember,
Wesley
she's
Snipes.
not. She's synthetic. She's not.
Well, but ask Wesley Snipes. He knows about that.
Right. So
collected 5 different life forms.
They collected 5. Okay, now let me back it up real quick. You can see
different life forms. Did they get a predator in there too?
Okay, no, but look in this shot, and you'll see their alien egg to your right, alien egg to your left.
5 different.
And then there's something that you can't quite see
corners of the universe
in the back.
Monsters.
Looks like they're chopping at something in this scene, right? Kind of looks like they're chopping. There's blood misting up. You can't quite see what they're going after.
Noah Hawley's got a fairly good record. So.
Yes. I like the world building. You see here, they line up a goat. Poor goat. All right, there's another sample right there that you see. Looks kind of like I don't know, tentacles or something weird like that. You'll see a real freaky one here in a minute. All right.
Predatory. We don't lock.
So, and I know this is going to get claimed, but I don't give a shit. I'll cut it out.
You've got a Wrecker Howard spinoff, and you've got a Jared Leto spinoff.
Right. All right. So you have this squid-like thing.
Hey, you know what? Going Cthulhu, I'm in.
All right. Check this out, though. There's okay, this thing right here. And I was going to read to you. So I'm going to find the shot where it says what this thing is. Look at this thing. This is one of the creatures, right? So there's 5 creatures. So this isn't just going to be aliens. This is going to be like different creatures. All right.
Well, is it different creatures or different creatures that have been manipulated by the xenomorph?
They're different creatures that have been collected by man. This is a man spacecraft that they're all dead on it or something.
Okay.
And they've collected 5 different species. Okay. Might be multiple members of the same species, but they've collected 5 different species of predatory creatures from the deepest reaches of space. And now see, look at that scene. Because it looks like she's dragging what looks like an alien with something, right? Like a hook or something. And she's dragging it.
It's a bottlenose dolphin.
It does look like a bottlenose dolphin, doesn't it? And then look,
go back. You missed the sexy scene between the 2 ladies.
Oh,
there it is.
Ooh, sexy time. Sexy time. Yeah. All right. Can't wait. And think hentai Menjoza or
tentacles,
80s anime, which is what I was exposed to, tentacles as a younger lad, and I was like, what am I watching?
Wicked City.
Okay, so
Ooh,
There-
look at the brain freeze on that guy.
Yeah. Look. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh.
That was an alien.
Yeah.
No, that looks like a face hugger. That looks like an
There-
alien.
There you go. Look at that shit.
Xenomorph on the prowl.
Okay. All right. So, but I'm gonna scroll it back to one thing because I want to read to you what it says. All right.
Yeah.
In this one creature. All right. So I'm digging it. I'm digging it.
this is also a straight to Hulu event, right?
Yeah. This is Hulu. Okay. So let me see if I can pause that. Damn it. That screen right there. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in on this. I don't know if I can because let's see. I don't think it's going to do it.
I can't read it from.
Okay. It says something about the tentacles. What it does is it climbs into like the brain, and it says once it's inside, it replaces the eye sockets of the person that it takes over. So it's like, and it takes over the body. So so you can imagine these bulbous big eyeball thingies. You could probably look up a picture of it, but it takes over the eye sockets. So you can imagine walking around and it takes over the host's body with these gigantic eyeball things.
Sure.
And it like turns your head into like this
Yeah.
weird looking thing. I saw a zoomed in picture of it. It actually reads really cool. But you know, I didn't think we'd be watching. Anyway, so there you go. Alien Earth, folks. There's the trailer.
You know what?
That's the
I
trailer.
mean,
Enhance, right? Yeah. Enhance.
we'll see. I mean, honestly,
Looks fun.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. I'm
Yep.
interested. I'm interested because I love aliens.
I do too.
And I love a lot about aliens, and I like some of the stuff that isn't good sometimes, but at the same time, I enjoy seeing the aliens. So,
Yeah,
you know, the
hell yeah.
xenomorph, that whole life cycle story thing is somewhat interesting to me, and where they go with it.
Right.
You know, there's so many different places you can go with it, and they have, and some of it's been successful, some of it hasn't. But I agree with Ben Joseph said earlier. The Dark Horse comics have so much good lore that they could pull from for
Right.
Predator and for Aliens.
Well,
that
let's
would be
just
phenomenal.
let's see what they do with this, right?
Yeah.
Let's just see what they do with this, and then we'll go from there. We
Yeah.
have no clue, but I'm
so let's then talk about the new Predator thing
boom.
that came out.
Yep, that's right. That's exactly where I was going with that.
Killer of Killers.
Yep.
And once we get done talking about this, maybe I'll have more to say about that, because I just watched this today, and
Okay.
and my thoughts on this are being reflected in what I'm thinking about this Alien Earth trailer too.
So I'll tell you. All right, look. I'm not a big fan of the Into the Spider-Verse animation style. I like the actual look of the animation. I'm not a big fan of the 12 frames a second on 24 frames or whatever the fuck it's called.
So I'll tell you, that has to do with the fact that they use the real engine, right? So this is a video game engine,
Right, Unreal Engine 5.
Unreal Engine 5, and this is why it has that skippiness to it, and
Yes.
it drove me nuts.
Yeah.
While watching this, and so
yeah.
if they don't get it to 30 frames a second or better, they're hosed in terms of animation, because the human eye can see that and it doesn't like it.
It's just not a style that, and I know it's in fashion. It's just not a style that I really like.
Yeah.
But I get it. It's unique.
Did you watch that Amazon show of shorts where they used the Unreal Engine and they told the Pac-Man story? And they
Secret Level. Yeah, I watched all of them.
Yeah. I think I watched all of them. I watched most of them, but that was my biggest critique about that as well. is that
Well,
skipping frame rate that happened in
yes,
there.
but I don't think
Is
they
very
used it.
jarring.
They didn't use it in every single one, though, if I remember
Uh,
correctly. I'm pretty sure they
I,
didn't.
okay, I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
the Unreal Engine that was used for the majority of it was a little distracting in some cases. But when they didn't,
I agree.
it was much better because
Yes.
it was smoother. Because you have to have that 30 frames a second or better to prevent the human eye from catching it.
It's just distracting in a way. I mean, look
Yeah.
now. 3 Star Draw said this the other night. I think I was talking to him. You kind of get used to it after a while, like it because your brain adjusts and compensates. Okay, so that's fine. Look, but
To a
story
degree,
wise,
to a degree.
yeah, but story wise, my favorite story was the second one with
Oh, for sure.
the Asian storyline, right?
Absolutely. That was the best
I
one.
thought by far it was the best one. The first story with the Viking or Nordic tribesmen. Again, I'm sorry, it's just me, so sue me. But when I see a gigantic female leading a tribe and telling her son to do this and that, and she's like the baddest warrior, it just pulls me out. It just
I,
does. I'm sorry.
honestly, I mean, you know, I fell asleep through most of that. I had to go back and
It it
re-scroll through that
it.
because it didn't engage me like the second story did. I knew the second story was going to catch me for sure.
Yeah. But I just, because I was like, oh Lord, and but the second story I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
The third story being about the World War II pilot, and getting working on the plane, getting the plane going and stuff. I thought that it was the spirit of it. I thought was fine. My biggest thing is that this dude is walking out on he's holding on to a plane wing, repairing the motherfucker while it's flying through the air, and you got a predator ship chasing you down. And
Okay.
I'm like, what is happening right now?
The,
Like this is so ridiculous.
the second story had too many things that were forced, and then you pull
Okay.
shit like that on top of it that drove me nuts because motherfucker, if you okay, you don't know about the construction of these fucking planes if you tell the story this way. As soon as he stepped out on that plane would have fucking rolled forever and
That's so
fucking
funny.
crashed.
It was
Okay,
so funny.
his body weight alone would have changed the trajectory of that plane to fucking crash. It would have gone so this way and then straight down, and it would have fucking blown up. Okay, it's bullshit.
And the thing of it is,
You
it's
can't
not.
fucking do that. It's like doing that on a fucking biplane. You can't
It's
fucking do
not.
that.
It's not that I can't. Like take it for, let's say, like a Mission Impossible film where somebody has to crawl, or Indiana Jones or like, but I think for that one, it's like you've got a predator spaceship
Yeah.
that is like chasing you and firing at you and like, and so if you want me to kind of take that seriously, I can't have a guy go out on a prop engine on one of the wings of the plane, kicking the engine to get it started back, he dislodges I say fin. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah,
War
no.
chest is gonna kill me.
He was moving the flap.
Yeah, the flaps. He was trying to dislodge. He was trying to move the flap, and
Yeah,
it was
he was
stuck or whatever the fuck.
on to get the
So
plane turned back over, which I actually thought was a good idea. But at the same time, with him, his body weight alone on the edge of that wing would have prevented all of that from happening.
right. So that was the only thing I was like, okay, yeah, in a way, if you're watching, you say this is exciting, right? But in another way, I was like,
Yeah,
this is
because
this
we
is a
were talking
little
about this.
ridiculous here.
Yeah.
But
The fuel pod thing was a whole different story.
but the end, okay, the end where and I don't necessarily want to spoil it because I do think it's worth watching. I think that it still is enjoyable. The things
Yeah.
that may take me out of it may not take you out of it. Um, because it still was enjoyable as animation. I love animation. I love cartoons. I love animated stuff. So I'm a sucker for most things.
Yeah.
And so even I could appreciate like, let me see where this goes. And so the protagonists basically of the three stories, they culminate in a way. Now this is from different time periods on Earth. These stories take place in different time periods.
So,
So
so this ties into Predators.
yes,
Okay, so Predators did the same kind of thing.
right. I
So,
I, I think I'm kind of hoping that they'll do more of this.
well,
Flesh this out a little bit more, maybe bring it into with the Alien franchise and kind
yeah.
of help bring that together a bit. If that makes
So
sense.
the biggest criticism that happened with the Predator and Prey, the criticisms that happened in between there, and maybe a little bit after Prey, um, and they addressed it in these three shorts. Because one of the biggest criticisms was, why would you not send a Predator back to feudal Japan?
Right.
One of the biggest ones. Why
Right.
would you not have a Predator come to feudal Japan and deal with that culture? Right.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
some people were like, well, what about Nordic culture? Okay, so we got that one. What about World War II? That was one of the biggest conflicts on this entire freaking planet. Why would they not have been visiting us during that? So you've addressed three of the biggest criticisms that people have had about the Predators and coming
Sure.
to Earth in
Sure.
this. And so, I found that aspect enjoyable. I found the storytelling moderately enjoyable. There's a whole lot of other stuff going on, subtext going on there. The animation was okay, but I thought the action was pretty good. I
Yeah.
thought
That's
action with the
exactly.
Predator was good, and the
Yeah.
design. I didn't like the design so much, but they're gonna make NECA figures, so you all be happy.
Yeah. I mean, I would say check it out. If you have Hulu, you know, I'd say check it out. It's
Absolutely.
worth your time. It just there
Yeah.
are some things in it that may take you out of it. But if you like animation, you probably will get used to the animation style because your brain just kind of does that. And overall, like people, there are people that are hungry for like Predator and Alien content. They're hungry for this stuff. They want it. It's a step in the right direction. I like where they culminated, which I'm not going to spoil it, but I like where they culminated at the end, how that kind of thing. It reminds me of a DLC from Fallout 3.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun.
Well, so yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not or whatever, but
kind of hard to say what it is without spoiling it, right? Like it's
yeah,
kind of hard to just say, yeah, this happens. Well, because if I say this happens, then pretty much, then the end, is kind of like, okay, then I mean, you can pretty much get an idea, but you really don't know. It's kind of a surprise actually at the end of the third story. So it's kind of a
well,
surprise.
so I'll say at the end of the
Don't even hint at it.
yeah, at the end of the first story, I thought the person sitting there was somebody different.
Okay,
Until they told the second story.
gotcha.
Right. So
Yeah.
I thought I was
Right.
like, oh my God, did something not happen that we thought happened? Is that changing things? What is this? And
Yeah.
then, I had so many questions after the first one that it's like you really want to watch the second one. And then after you watch the second one, you get a better idea of the universe. And after you watch the third one, you get the better idea of the universe. And then you have the final wrap up of everything, and you're like, oh shit, I see what's going on here.
Right.
And I think that element is really interesting, and I think it ties into Predators a lot. I think it takes a lot from the movie Predators, the
Yeah.
Adrian Brody
Yeah.
one.
No, I could see it. I mean, unfortunately,
And
that movie was a disaster.
I liked that movie.
The autistic boy.
No. That's the Predator.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind. No. I know.
Predators.
See, here's the problem. I get them confused because they've made so many of them that really kind of just are
You know,
like.
the Predator was the one written by Black, who was in
Yeah.
the first Predator movie. Who
Yes,
thought he
yes. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Predators is the Adrian Brody, Lawrence Fishburne movie
That, yeah.
with Topher Grace.
Yeah.
And
Oh
all
shit,
those-
that's right. I forgot.
I liked that one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there were some designs in that movie that a lot of people had issues with. Predator designs, maybe.
Well,
in
I mean,
that one.
when you alter the Predator design, you're going to get criticism because every
Yeah.
time you change it, you're like, why are you doing this?
Right.
And each section of this had a different type of Predator, had a different design for a Predator, which makes for great NECA figures. But the NECA Samurai Predator looks freaking awesome. But the other ones, I don't know that I would want those.
Right.
We'll see.
Well, I say check it out. If you got Hulu, check it out. If you sail the high seas, check it out. Mendoza, yeah, pray was shitty. You didn't need Dutch's team to be idiots to make him look more badass. More chess. Prey would have been better at the very end if the girl died. There's a lot of movies I think nowadays that might actually be better. And then Predators wasn't bad. However, Lawrence Fishburne was pretty bad in that movie.
Yeah, I mean that was an awkward character for him, but you kind of see how that would play out, right? I mean, it makes
right. Sense. So, Mobland. All right. I have not finished Mobland.
Where are you right now?
I am probably episode 5, I believe. I'm getting into it. There's only 9 episodes, I think.
Yeah.
Or 10 episodes.
10.
So I'm about halfway through. I will give you guys my early impressions on Mobland, and then I'll let you give kind of your overall and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah.
So it starts off very strong. I think anybody that gets into the series is going to be impressed from the beginning. I think you're going to be intrigued. I think you're definitely going to be invested from episode 1. Now, subsequently, I noticed that as the series goes on, the episodes get shorter and shorter and shorter. They go from 1 hour down to like 40 minutes.
It goes up and down.
Yeah, but I noticed it really does there go like 59, 57, 56, and then like 48, 47, 40, 40. It's interesting. Regardless of that, because who cares? Because if you pack a good story in there, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
So, but the cast is amazing. This is a cast. This is an absolutely just ridiculous cast. It's funny, but it's not as funny as some people were making it out to be. I think it's more serious than funny in a way. It has funny lines.
Okay,
but
it depends on your sense of humor.
Well, yeah, but some people were making it out like it was like just a hilarity, and I'm like,
yeah, no.
There's situations that you can take humor out of, but this is not a comedy.
Not at all.
But Tom Hardy, absolutely amazing. Pierce Brosnan, fantastic. Helen Mirren acts like somebody you wouldn't think. Patty Constantine, I mean, we're talking about somebody who looks nothing like his character from House of the Dragon. I didn't even recognize him, dude. Didn't even recognize him.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Patty's crazy, and I think he's the best character in the whole.
He's great, but it really has a fantastic cast. It's a great plot. There is a kid in this show that will drive you crazy because he's just a piece of shit, fuck nut.
Okay, so I mean, you can relate him. He's Joffrey.
He is Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But really though, it really is good. I will say that for me, at halfway through, I can't wait to see the end of it.
Oh,
I have heard from some people who
that's
have watched it all the way through,
yeah,
what their feelings are about the back end of it.
yeah.
But I'll leave that for when I get there. So that's my midway. I say start the show,
Do it.
and I'm halfway through, and it's worth your time. It is very good, and it has an amazing cast. So one of the better things I've put my time into here recently. All right, your turn.
So I will say that from this point forward, the episodes get longer.
Okay.
There's one that's a little shorter, but in general, they all get longer, and the last one is 54 minutes. So you're getting more content in there. The cast is freaking amazing. Patty is the best character, and you got to deal with Pierce Brosnan and Helen Mirren being the freaking devil. If you think of them as the devil,
Yeah.
and Tom Hardy is kind of that intermediary to protect everybody from the devil while serving the devil at the same time, you realize he's the fucking good guy. I mean, out of all of this, he's the good guy. He's the guy that
Right.
didn't do anything wrong in all,
Right.
right? And
Right.
you've got Patty that's coming in there, and there's something that happens later on that really changes maybe the way you think about Patty, and it's freaking awesome. Every character in this is phenomenal. You got the bastard girl who's in there,
Oh yeah. Oh my
okay,
gosh.
and how much Helen Mirren's character hates her and wants to fucking kill her, and then what happens when she tries to fucking kill her is fucking phenomenal. Okay, so you've got all these interplaying family dynamics at the same time as this external force is coming upon them, and it's not just one external force. By the end of it, there are three external forces really putting pressure on them. Two of them maybe not so much of a threat, but finally one of them is.
Yeah.
And you've got this whole, you haven't even gotten to the point where she's introduced yet. But the storytelling, the character development, the interplay, the actions between everybody is engaging. It's like you don't want to stop watching this. It is a good show to binge if you love to binge. If you had
It's true. It's true. You can't wait to start the next episode. You're hitting next episode as soon as it's over. You're like, go, go, go.
and it ruined my last weekend to finish it.
Yeah. No, I get it. I really do.
And so, I mean, Punk's talked about it with his buddy on that thing that he's doing over there.
Right.
And that's the show that they kind of kicked it off with. And it's worthwhile. It is definitely one of the best, most well-written shows of this year. And so check it out. It's in the guise of The Gentleman, which was the Guy Ritchie TV show, which was phenomenal.
Sure.
Game of Thrones thrown in there, and there's so many elements of this show that come together that make this incredible cast shine. And these guys, man, it's, without spoiling a lot of stuff, I can't say enough good things about it. Go watch it, check it out. It is worth your time. It's an investment of 10 episodes of roughly 40 to an hour a piece, and you'll enjoy it. You're gonna get hooked.
You know what? I didn't realize. Shit, man. I'm actually up to episode 9, and I didn't even realize it. Fuck. I thought for some reason, I'm already up to 9. I'm sitting here looking at the recaps, and I'm like, oh well, yeah, no, it's like it kind of blends together because they're all really good. So you don't even, you're like, you know what I mean? You're not like, oh, in episode 8 and episode 9. It's like,
and you have,
yeah. I'm up pretty good.
Yeah.
No, it is, man. I agree with you. It's worth the time. If you've heard a lot about it, if you've seen stuff, and people talking about it all the time. Yeah, Jetman, have a good night, buddy. Then, people say, oh, you got to see it. You got to see it. It is very good. Yeah, and the cast, and we'll see. We'll see if there's any awards in the future for this show. It's just a treat to see these actors that have gotten together to do this, because every now and then you get a show like that brings in these people that have gravitas,
Yeah.
right? And
Well-
and they're able to deliver these lines in such convincing ways, and their motions, their acting is A plus, right?
What's really hilarious to me is that Helen Mirren is kicking ass in 3 different TV shows
Dude.
all at the same time. Got 2 different James Bonds playing fucking assholes that are fucking amazing in both 1883 or 1923 and this show. You got
Yeah.
Timothy Dalton and Pierce Brosnan being motherfucker badasses that are just stealing the show in the spotlight. This is great. I love it.
Old Toby Jones. What a
yeah.
strange looking man.
When I saw Toby pop in, I was holy cow.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this idiot gonna do? And motherfucker, he's a pimp daddy.
Right. It's a trip, man. It's a trip. And also kind of reminds you how good Tom Hardy is, right? As an actor, even though a lot of his movies that he's been in, he doesn't have a lot of lines to say, sometimes, but very good at what he does. Very convincing.
Well, was it? Oh God, what was the other one that he did? Was it not Person of Interest? But he did some other show that was really. I mean, his TV shows that he does, he's phenomenal in them. And he really sets himself apart. He's a really transformative kind of actor. I mean, he's not a Daniel Day-Lewis or anything, but
some bitch is younger than I am. Bastard.
Mother.
He's 2 years younger. He's got his birthday. He's over 2 years younger. His birthday's the 15th of September. Yeah, you son of a bitch. Missed my calling. No, I'm kidding. Are you kidding me? Come on. Get out of here. Get out of town. I mean, the Venom movies, they are where they were. They are what they are. Let's not kid ourselves. Legend 2015 is Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, Peaky Blinders was awesome.
Yeah.
The Venom movies are fun to watch.
They're fun, but that last one was rough.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying they're good.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, the Sony movies all have something to watch in them. They're not good, but you can watch Madam Web for Sydney Sweeney, right? You can watch the Venom movies for Tom Hardy. You can watch the Morbius movie for Jared Leto and Matt Smith. I mean, there's things in the movie that are worth watching.
Right. No, there are, but overall they're not good. But yes, there are things you could definitely watch.
No.
I'm trying to figure out, where is he at? He plays Brendan. Yeah. Oh, that poor fella. Anyway, so look, that's it, man. It's late. It's almost midnight. I got to get you out of here because you got to get into bed. You got a long day tomorrow. Kept you way over, but when we get on a roll, we get going, man. So that's what happens.
It's good fun.
Yeah, man. But listen, that's all we got for this week. Let's see. Let's put you. There we go. Rolling one more time. Yeah, baby. Look at that. Unbelievable. Anyway, so look, appreciate you guys. Everybody in the chat always throw up a like for sure. Tell a buddy, bring a friend, share the stream, whatever, if you like. Always appreciated. And so, yeah, man, I guess tomorrow night I'll be with my cuz on Sevens Wild. Talking about Joe Fest coming up. It'll be our last stream before we go. So we'll have some friends joining us. And other than that, I'm sure you got some picks coming up. And then I guess I expect to see you maybe Friday night on Punk's Pit. If you guys are a member of Punk's channel, then feel free to hop on over there and hang out for a little while and shoot the shit. That's what it's all about. It's a pretty good time. And you can pretty much talk about whatever you want, bring up whatever you want. Everybody will chop it up.
If you are a member of Punk's channel and you come on, then we can talk about stuff if you want to talk about stuff.
Yeah. It's fun.
Whatever.
But yeah, man. So next Tuesday, I'll sift through, see if I can dig up some more stories, see if we can find a new show to talk about, and maybe go see How to Train Your Dragon, because I saw the original a long time ago, and if this is a beat for beat kind of remake with it, then I could probably dig that.
Disappointed because my daughter's at a summer camp this week, and at the end of the summer camp on Friday, they're going to go see the movie. I'm like,
oh wow, that's a trip. Yeah, well, but that'll be fun for them too. So you'll have to figure out in your own way, maybe, or go see it again. Hell, might be that good. But anyway, so I guess we'll be back again next week, and another evening blend. So until then, it's been a pleasure, Matthew. Appreciate it, man. Always.
Thank you, guys.
I'm Pop Blender. We'll see y'all next time.